Check 1, 2.
Yeah, there you go.
You're good.
And then
I'm going to turn this up, though.
I can't hear me. Should I be hearing me yet?
Yeah, you should be. There you go. Yeah, you soft touch. Now yeah, but there you go.
Is there a crowd mic in here?
That is the one thing that I guess isn't loose down here. Georgetown versus Pflugerville, and with only 2 games left in the season, it's a battle for second place in the district, with both teams only with 1 loss on the season. Tonight's game will be paramount to decide who gets the better seeding towards the end of the season. A pleasant good evening to you. I'm Carl Schoening, along with my partners Kelly Duvall and David England. We're happy you joined us for the Georgetown Eagles pregame show. Gentlemen, 2 games left in the season, and there's a combination of fine-tuning to make sure you're ready for the playoffs, and also making sure that you take these games ready to go one at a time.
Yeah, this is a big game tonight for the Eagles. It's a big game for Pflugerville. The winner of tonight's game clinches a playoff spot. The loser could still have some work to do. Pflugerville's got the teeth of their schedule coming, because after us tonight, they've got Cedar Park and then Hendrickson, and both those games are on the road. So they'll be traveling to Hendrickson and Cedar Park's homes to play those games. So they've got a lot of work to do, but tonight's big for the Eagles. We win tonight, we're in the playoff.
And David, we were talking about it before the show started. This is a Pflugerville team that plays to the level of their competition. So just because those scores look tight against other teams that the Eagles might have beaten a little more handedly doesn't mean that they should take them lightly.
Right, exactly. And, we look at their schedule, and they're 5-0 at home, and then they've got the 1 loss away. They've only played 1 game not at home, and that was a 1-point loss to Leander. But they've had some close games with, Maynard with the overtime win, 32-21, and then Weiss they played within 7 points. And so they are winning, but I think we do need to be careful because they're at home, and they might have a little bit of an edge, but we've generally been pretty successful against Pflugerville. But we, just like last week, we cannot lay down and let them come roaring back. We have to keep the foot on the gas, like Kelly says, and keep get out to that early lead, or just play hard from the get go, win the middle 8, and just keep the foot on the gas the whole game.
Yeah, and you guys will see in our the fans will see in the interview with Coach Griffin, he talked about that consistency. And the defense has been inconsistent. And they've started off slow in the middle of the game. They played slow at the end of the game. They played slow in the middle of the game. If they can put 4 complete quarters together on defense, then this game should be a Georgetown win tonight. But the problem is that lack of consistency. And I think it has some to do with the youth in that defensive line, that defensive interior. There's some veteran guys once you get to the secondary. But Coach Griffin talked about at the beginning of the season. He's talked about it several times. The youth on that line has been a concern. So they just got to be consistent on defense. And if they can stop that Pflugerville run tonight, then Georgetown should win this football game. And this is going to be the toughest competition Pflugerville has seen yet. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and you mentioned that run game, very paramount for the Panthers. They only average 92 yards per game through the air, but they do average 284 yards on the ground. So this is definitely going to be a run-heavy team, and that's going to be something to keep an eye on. Well, as we keep moving on here on the Georgetown Eagles pregame show, we had a chance to catch up earlier this week, and coming up now is Kelly Duvall's interview with Tyler Fithian.
We welcome to the SHN Sports Georgetown Eagles pregame show number 4, Tyler Fithian, a name we have called a lot this season. Tyler, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So talk a little bit about last week's game. What'd you like? What didn't you like?
I think our running backs did phenomenal, and our O-line's blocking and just everybody's overall blocking was a great thing, a big part of our offense. I feel like our defense did good in the first half, and we came out and we could have done better, but that's something we're working on this week for this week's game and improving on for future games. And it's just something we all got to be all a team around and just support each other whenever we're down and help each other get up.
So on an individual basis, I mean, we called your name some last year too, but what's been the biggest challenge this year for you, and where have you felt like you've made the biggest steps?
I feel like I've made my biggest steps in my blocking and more of like getting myself bigger and gaining more weight, because I've always been one of the smaller receivers, but I feel like I can do more at the slot than outside. So I've been trying to work on that, and then some of the things that I need to work, that I've been improving on. Wait, what was the other question? I'm sorry.
So the other question is, what's been the biggest challenge for you this year?
Oh, the biggest challenge probably has been, I mean, I feel like we've had not so many challenges because we've really got everything we need on offense. We've got all the receivers we need, all the running backs we need. We got a perfect quarterback, great O-line. It's more of just clicking it all together, which I feel like last week we really have been showing that we can do. We just need to keep doing that every week.
Well, one of the things that I've especially noticed over primarily the last 3 games, not saying it hadn't happened earlier, but I've been watching for it, is, man, you blocking out there on the edge when that run is coming out to you. I like watching you block, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I've been trying to finish some blocks, get them on the floor, see how many people I can try and pancake every game.
Well, and you said earlier you're not the biggest receiver, but you play bigger than you really are.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And it shows in your routes, and you use your body very well to get in position to make catches and come back and help Darson out if he's got to get out of the pocket. So big game coming up this week. If you guys can take the win, you lock down that playoff position. What are you looking for out of Pflugerville?
I think it's going to be a good game. I know Elijah. I used to play 7-on-7 with him last year, so I know he's going to be doing some damage. Just got to get our defense to be able to tackle him, and he's going to be playing linebacker this week. So hopefully he doesn't catch me on a slant or something across the middle. But
yeah, in that slot, man, you wind up between those hashes, and it can be dangerous in there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, Tyler, we appreciate you joining us, man. We're looking forward to calling your name again a bunch this week. You got any shout-outs?
Shout out to the whole team, the offense, the defense, the offensive line, ST6, and that's about it. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Glad to have you, Tyler. Folks, Tyler Fithian, number 4. You'll be hearing his name a lot this week, especially in that slot. And I'm gonna give you some shout outs when I see those blocks on the edge, because I love a good running game. And when everybody's blocking, makes me happy. I like it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, folks. Tyler Fithian. Tyler, thanks for joining us. Folks, stick around. Pre-game show will continue.
Thanks again to Tyler Fithian for his pregame interview with Kelly Duvall. I'm Carl Schoening. This is the SHN Sports Georgetown Eagles pregame show as the Eagles take on the Pflugerville Panthers this evening from the Field. That's right. If you are trying to find it on your Google Maps, it is PF Field, not FIELD. So the Pflugerville kind of playing on their name. How you spell the city is how you spell the field. And gentlemen, this will be my first time out there to that new stadium, and this offense looks geared up and ready to go to take on these Panthers from their stadium.
It's going to be interesting. It's a beautiful stadium. We've been there several times, and a great facility. And like Dave said earlier, we've had some luck over there. So it's just a matter of the consistency tonight. And I would imagine, early in the season, whenever we were playing Cedar Park, when we were playing some of the more pass-heavy teams, the more West Coast kind of offense, those spread offenses, our safeties and corners were way off the ball. The past few weeks, they've sucked them up closer to the ball, and everybody's within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. I think you're going to see more of that tonight. And I really think they're going to drop those or move those linebackers up and try to put pressure right there at the point of attack at that line of scrimmage. And I think you're going to see some tight formations on defense in the box and make Pflugerville beat us in the passing game.
Well, Carl Kelly, don't blink, because this second to last district game could be over really fast if Pflugerville runs the ball and Georgetown runs the ball, which they're very capable of doing. So we could be wrapping up the game by 9:30. It could be a very, very fast. The clock will just keep running. So it may be very important to capitalize on every possession and make sure we put points on the board on every possession, so we don't have to get behind the curve and with that clock running so fast, and then we're having to throw some passes there at the end.
Well, coming off of a 300-yard game, 5-touchdown game is the transfer from Oregon, Nate Denny, and he was only available for the game 3 and on, but he looks like he's going to finish this season with around 1,000 yards rushing, despite missing that first chunk of the season.
Yeah, Carl just checked Twitter, and he just put out a huddle video. In 4 games, he's got 65 carries, 783 yards with 10 touchdowns. This is just 4 games. He's averaging 196 yards a game and 12.4 yards a carry, Kelly.
David and I have made it a tradition now. We'll travel up and watch the state championship games. And 2 years ago, for the Cuero Gobblers, we saw just an amazing performance by Jordan Whittington. And last Friday's game came close to that performance that we saw out of Jordan Whittington. 15 carries and averaging over 20 yards a carry. Unbelievable, man. It was just so much fun to watch. And then I don't even know what Ryan Eady wound up with, because he was close to 100 yards, a couple of touchdowns from Ryan as well. And then Devin Ross comes in.
Yeah.
3 horses, and we haven't seen it much yet. Usually when they wind up in that bunch formation in the backfield with all 3 running backs back there around Darson Herman, the handoff has almost always gone to the deep back. And the running backs have come up, done some amazing jobs blocking. The offensive line, they'll run that left side over Connor Heffernan, and he's just pancaking people and burying people in the ground. And I love it. But the back of their uniforms are dirty, and it's old school football, which I love. And then the receivers are just mashing people.
Yes.
So, and you'll see in Coach Griffin's interview, he talks about it, the selflessness in this running game of the running back that's not toting the ball, because Nate Denny will run out there and block people. And Devin Ross is just a monster and a big kid. And when he runs out there against a cornerback that's 5'10", 170 pounds, Devin Ross is 6'2", 205. When that animal goes out there and starts blocking people, it is a thing of beauty. And it's just so much fun to watch this running game for these Eagles.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, the Eagles were a lot more balanced at the beginning of the season, but once they got that 3-headed monster in the backfield, and you maybe even throw in a little bit of Brandon Bradford end arounds that have been used pretty heavily in the offense since around that time, just the matter of the run game or the game coming out of the backfield has just been phenomenal for the Eagles this year, and a big reason of why they are 6-1.
Editorial comment here, and this may not be the opinion of this station or its management, but balance schmalance. Dance with who brung you, run that football right down people's throats, and just wear that defense out, man. I love it.
Right.
It's pretty easy when you have somebody like Nate Denny, who had 3 touchdowns from the opposite side of the field last week against Leander. And, that game ended up being 62-43. I think the final score, blanking on the Leander score, but the Eagles put up a lot of points thanks to 5 touchdowns behind Nate Denny's phenomenal game, and then just the rest of the offense taking off. Well, as we roll on here on the Georgetown Eagle pregame show, we're going to have a chance with Kelly Duvall to interview the head coach of your Georgetown Eagles, Chuck Griffin, coming up right now.
We want to welcome to the SHN Sports Georgetown Eagles pregame show head coach Chuck Griffin. Coach, thanks for joining us again.
Hi, thanks, Kelly. Glad to be here.
So a tale of 2 halves this past Friday. Started off like gangbusters, and we were talking a little bit about it before. Talk first what you didn't like so much, and then we'll talk about what you liked about the game.
We got to be more consistent defensively. That's an area we got to grow and keep getting better at, and we've had it so far this year be the first half. We've had it be the second half. We've had it be the middle 2 quarters. We just got to be consistent in what we do. And, a game where we talk a lot about the middle 8, winning the last drive of the first half, and offensively and defensively in the same in the first drive of the first half, those last 4 minutes. And the one game where we did that really well was Hendrickson. We've got to continue to learn how to do that and do that better and better so that we can continue to play.
Well, you gotta give them some credit last week because they didn't quit. We threw some.
Oh no. Yeah, our team is doing a great job of just fighting. And regardless of the circumstances, that's what we talk about. If we're 21 points up, you play hard. If we're 21 points down, you play hard. That's got to be the mentality that you go into the game with. And here's the deal: you got to give those guys credit. They had a good scheme put together coming out in the second half and hurt us in a couple areas. But I'm really proud of what we're doing as a team of not quitting, standing up special teams wise and making some big time plays of just getting the ball back every time. And then also of the offense just continuing to score.
Right. Well, and it really seemed like in that fourth quarter, the defense finally just buckled down and said, we're not giving up anymore.
Yeah, sure. And they did the same thing at the end of the both halves of the Anderson game, of just buckling down, saying, all right, we're going to stop you. Game's over. We'll let you stay around long enough. And that's the mentality that got to develop and just be consistent in that.
Well, and from a fan standpoint, sitting back and watching, I know it's frustrating for the coaches, but when somebody comes back and hits you in the mouth, it's cool watching these kids respond and finally get to the point of going, hey, that's enough.
It's great as coaches too. That's what you expect. That's what you train them for. You want them to be able to continue to respond and continue to play hard no matter what the situation is, and that's what they've been able to do. And man, they're growing and they're getting better. And we're just going to continue to work on that.
All right, so let's talk about some cool stuff. In particular, young man by the name of Nate Denny. Wow, yeah. What a game! And all the running backs ran the ball really well, but Nate turned in a performance that you don't see very often.
No, you don't. You don't see those type of numbers put up very often. So it was a special night for him, and he did a great job of giving credit to his offensive line and giving credit to Ryan Eady and Devin Ross of being able to take some pressure off of him by being able to run the football themselves, and both of them blocking for him. Both of them did a great job blocking. Two of them had, one of his long touchdown runs, man, they both had a great block.
Yes.
And then Ryan was able to catch the ball out of the backfield a little bit the other night and actually scored a touchdown on it. So them continue to do those type of things is really made our running back situation pretty unique and pretty fun to coach because they're good at what they do. They bought in. There's no ego in there. They're blocking for each other. Last week Nate had a couple of big blocks so that Ryan could go score.
Right.
They're just continuing to grow together in that aspect and getting better and better.
Well, and that's one of the things that I was going to talk to you about because as the season has progressed, man, the blocking has just really gotten very, very good. That offensive line is moving people off the ball. The receivers are blocking, and you're running back, like you were saying, blocking for each other.
Yeah.
So
good. It's been great and getting better, and that's something we harp on and work really hard at. So it's been good to see that.
And it's fun. I tell you, from a fan standpoint, it's fun to watch. And whenever you get Nate Denny back there and Ryan Eady back there and Devin Ross back there all surrounding Darson Herman, from my perspective, I start getting really excited because I love a running game. I love a tough running game. And we got a tough running game. You guys have done a great job on that. So this week, important game. They're all important, but this one could, if we can take Pflugerville. What are you looking for out of Pflugerville?
It's a big game for us. We've got to win. If we win this one, we'll secure a playoff spot. So that's a really big game for us. What we're going to get, what we always get out of Pflugerville, man. They're going to be a tough ball team, very athletic. Coach Taylor, those guys do a great job in the run game themselves. They're gonna look similar to what we did last week as far as running the ball. And they got Oakman back there who does a great job, and new sophomore that's doing well in the backfield too. So we got our hands cut out for us defensively of how to stop that. And defensively, their defensive line is pretty stout. Oakman's playing some linebackers as well as some other guys that are doing a good job up there, and they're very athletic in the back end. So it's going to be a good game for us, a great challenge. I've challenged them all week about just going out and showing up and playing the best they can for each play. And, that's the goal. I told you, I said it a while ago, 21 points up or 21 points down. The goal is to play hard. And that's what we want our guys to do as we go into this week. And we've got high expectations for them and think we're going to go out and get a big win.
Well, like you said, if we win this week, we lock up that playoff position, and I know it's tight, but Pflugerville's looking at the same circumstance.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. They realize that they've got to beat us to get in.
Right.
They've got us and Cedar Park left, so they're going to be throwing all the marbles at us, trying to get in themselves and get their fourth win. So it's big for them as well.
Well, Coach, as always, we're looking forward to a great game this Friday, and we appreciate your time. Best of luck this week, and you guys stay safe, and we will see you Friday night.
All right, man. Hey, we got it. Thanks, Kelly. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. Folks, stick with us. Kickoff.
Thanks to Coach Griffin for his pregame interview with Kelly Duvall. I'm Carl Schoening, along with Kelly Duvall and David England on the SHN Sports Georgetown Eagle pregame show. And as we do every week, it's time for Doppler Dave's weather report. Dave, what's it going to be like in Pflugerville this evening?
Guys, it's going to be beautiful as the fans are coming over from the Hanover's Draft House in Pflugerville, where the pregame meals were. The skies are going to be skies are going to be clear, 71 degrees, dropping to 66 degrees at the end of the game. There's no rain in sight. You can leave the blanket at home. Winds are south at 2 miles an hour, so no problem for our kickers.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. And, guys, this arguably could be the biggest game of the season when we're talking about positioning for a playoff matchup that's more favorable. So it's the battle of the one-loss teams. What are your keys this evening?
I think the defense. The defense has to have that consistency. They're going to have to play 4 solid quarters of football tonight and tackle well, wrap these guys up. They've got some talent in that backfield with their running game. They've got some hosses on the line. So everybody on this defense, especially the guys that are going to find themselves in the box, the linemen and the linebackers, and even if they sneak a corner in there, a safety in there, those guys are going to have to take care of their assignments. Rush straight up the field, contain. Don't let them get outside, because all your help is in the middle of that field. And that's where the inconsistency has come. And I don't think it's inconsistency from a talent standpoint. I think it's an inconsistency from an overconfidence standpoint from time to time, because the games that we've seen that have been close and started off poorly for the defense were games where going into them we're thinking, hey, this should be an easy victory. And then the other games where they've had difficulties in the second half are games where we got out to a big lead and they let off. And they can't do that tonight. We're going to put points on the board. We're going to run the football. We're going to get that yardage. And if something happens and we're not having some success running the football, then we're going to start hitting those quick passes. We're going to put points on the board. The key for me is that defensive consistency, like Coach Griffin talked about. And you can tell he's frustrated by it a little bit, but as much as Coach Griffin gets frustrated. But it's the defense. And Coach Pat tonight, he may break a headset or something if they're not as consistent as they want to see him.
I think Georgetown defense wants a statement game. They want a game and put all the naysayers aside and say our defense can lock it down, because you're exactly right, Kelly. If they try and shut down our run game with all 4 of our literally 4 running backs, if you put Darson in there, then Darson uses his cannon for an arm and he throws to any one of our veteran wide receivers that's going to catch the ball at will. So you're right, we'll score. But we need to get the defense off the field tonight. We need to make sure they're not out there on the field and that clock is burning, because it's going to be a fast game. If Pflugerville's running and we're running, we need to make sure Pflugerville's defense is on the field more than our defense, and keep our defense rested so they can come out and just blast them. And assignment right defense football tonight is the key.
It's going to be a fun, old-school run-style football game this evening. The Georgetown Eagles taking on the Pflugerville Panthers. The Georgetown Eagle pregame show here with Carl Schoening, Kelly Duvall, and David England. We're happy you guys tuned in. We're moments away from kickoff. Let's go ahead and check out the lineups for your Georgetown Eagles.
Here's tonight's starting lineup for your Georgetown Eagles. On offense for the Eagles, At right tackle, number 56, senior Josh Palmer. At right guard, number 54, senior Brian Hargrove. The center is number 58, senior Jacob Estrada. At left guard, number 79, senior Trey Flores. The left tackle is number 50, senior Connor Heffernan. The tight end and H-back is number 80, senior Jake McCown. Wide receivers tonight, number 88, senior Cade Lachlan, and number 3, Brandon Bradford, both seniors. The slot receivers, number 85, senior Cole Petter, and number 4, senior Tyler Fithian. Running backs tonight for the Eagles, number 23, senior Ryan Eady, and number 30, Nate Denny, a senior. The fullback, number 16, junior Tyler Hawkins. And at quarterback, number 8, junior Darson Herman. On defense tonight for the Eagles, the nose tackle, number 51, senior HECTOR MONTOYA. The defensive end is number 60, Jacob Noel, a junior. At the bandit position, number 48, senior Colton Washington. At the Mike linebacker, number 7, senior Noah Maidlow. At the Sam linebacker, number 33, senior Hunter Springer. The will linebacker, number 31, senior Emmanuel Obina. At safety tonight for the Eagles, number 18, junior Trent McConnell, and number 20, senior Saul De La Rosa. The nickelback is number 41, senior AYDEN Valencia. At the corners tonight, number 13, senior Aaron Bazell, and number 6, senior Nick Grasso. On special team tonight for the Eagles, the punter and punt returner is number 88, senior Cade Lachlan. The kicker is number 37, junior Carson Sauceda. The deep snapper is number 36, junior Rex Lee, and the holder is number 9, senior Cord Sparkman. And those are the starters for your Georgetown Eagles.
We're back on the Georgetown Eagle pregame show. That was your starting lineups for the Georgetown Eagles. Kickoff moments away. And before we get this one rolling, any final thoughts, guys?
Yeah, with this running game that I think we'll see tonight, I wish it was on grass and the grass was wet and everybody get muddy because it's going to be an old school run game tonight.
Yeah, it feels like you're getting into it feels like you're in the playoffs right now because we're late in the season. We're 4 weeks behind, and everybody else is playing playoffs in 1 through 4A. So it's a fun time of the year to be playing football in Central Texas. The weather's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a great night to be at the game tonight. And if you can't make it, we're super happy that you've joined us tonight on SHN Sports for what we think is going to be a fun contest to determine really who's going to be have a favorable seating in the second place in district to have a good run in that first round playoff game.
Well, perhaps the biggest district game of the season to this point for the Georgetown Eagles starts in just a few moments here on SHN Sports. Thanks for watching the pregame show. Kickoff coming up next.
Oh, sing God who see by the dawn's early light, what so proudly he hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were some bursting in air, gave birth through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
A nicely done rendition of the national anthem in perfect timing of the ending of the pregame show, put together by my color analyst, Kelly Duvall. A pleasant good evening to you. I'm Carl Schoening, along with David England, our producer, and Tara McConnell on the camera. We're happy that you guys joined us tonight for this district matchup between the Georgetown Eagles and the Pflugerville Panthers. And Kelly, as we mentioned in that pregame show, this is a big matchup between two one-loss teams. And even though you did mention that they have the teeth of their schedule coming up, it's really important for the Eagles to go ahead and secure that playoff spot tonight.
It is, and it's also important. Pflugerville is going to come into this game knowing this is the teeth of their schedule. And they will see this game and the game against Hendrickson as their best chances for wins. Maybe you could call it an upset. They're probably kind of writing Cedar Park off a little bit, but big game for the Eagles tonight. They take this game, they clinch that playoff spot, and may come pretty close to clinching that second spot, which is important in the playoff seeding.
Of course, this is the second to last game for the Georgetown Eagles as they take the field wearing their white jerseys with blue numerals, white pants with blue stripes, silver helmets. And Carson Salcedo will be kicking it away to the Pflugerville Panthers, who are wearing the blue jerseys with the white pants and the white helmets.
I'm kind of glad Pflugerville's starting off with the ball because I'm anxious to see what their game plan is. Their stats say they're going to be run heavy. We'll see if they got something special for Georgetown tonight.
Jake Iloka is back deep with Armand Fullman to receive this kick on a 3-yard charge from Carson Salcedo. It is taken by Fullman. He drops it and he tries to go back across the 20, and then he is brought down inside the 20 as he had to retreat, trying to escape from a slew of Eagles. He is tackled at the 19, and that's where the Pflugerville Panthers will start following the error from Fullman.
Nice job by the coverage team, and he didn't have a whole lot of place to go even if he doesn't drop the football, but coverage team got down, stayed in their lanes well. Good start for the Eagles. We just got to get on it, stay on it tonight.
The Pflugerville Panthers are led by their quarterback, Jalon Reeves. He's also one of their top rushers. This is a very run-heavy offense for the Pflugerville Panthers. They start off from the right hash, 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Zone read and a give to his back, and he gets behind his right guard for a pickup of a few, and he's stopped by the front line there. Getting his first touch this evening for the Panthers is big old number 22, Elijah Oakman.
We talked a little bit in the pregame, and Georgetown has that defense sucked up to the line, expecting Pflugerville to be run heavy tonight. You've got all 11 of the Georgetown players within 7 yards of the football, which we didn't see early in the season against those spread offenses.
Oakman in the backfield with Reeves, and he throws it out to the left side. It is caught on a quick pass out to the flats, and picking up a couple yards after getting his block is Jake Iloka. And he actually is just marked back at the line of scrimmage, so no gain on the play. 3rd down here. Eagles looking for an early 3-and-out.
Good job by Aaron Bazell. He didn't try to defeat his blocker. He made that receiver turn back inside where all the help was, and he did exactly what he should, and that's wait for help to get over there and force that play back inside, not let it beat him to the sideline.
It's Reeves in the backfield. He's going to drop back and throw over to the right side. It was bobbled and then incomplete, intended on the far right side to Patrick Oyuna, and that'll be a 3-and-out to start the ball game for the Eagle defense.
Nice job. Great start. That's what you want. But, again, a little bit leery, right, because the defense has started off strong last week and relaxed a little bit, so let's put 4 good quarters together, and that's a great start for the Eagle defense.
Jose Zapata will punt it away to Nate Denny, who's back deep to receive. He gets this punt off, and it's a good one that gets to the 43-yard line. Denny will try to take it to the right side. Makes the defender miss near the 50, and then he's pushed out of bounds in the Pflugerville Panthers territory. So great starting field position for the Eagles for their first offensive drive. They're led by Darson Herman.
So again, Nate Denny just got a little warmed up there on that kickoff return. I think we're going to be calling Nate Denny's name a lot tonight. We're going to be calling Ryan Eady's name a lot tonight, and probably a couple of the receivers on those reverses that they run a lot.
Nate Denny with 5 touchdowns last week against Leander. The Eagles start off in plus territory. Herman in the shotgun, Denny to his right, 2 receivers on both sides. 1st and 10 for Georgetown on a zone read. It's a keeper for Herman. He fakes the pass to the flats, makes a defender miss, and then he's swallowed up after picking up about 9 yards to the 41-yard line, and that's a solid play for the run game to get rolling this evening.
When Darson pulled that ball back, 6 blue jerseys were headed for Nate Denny, which opened up a lot for Darson.
They're going to tempo them here. 5 wide, quick pass out to the left side. It's completed for the borrow from Morrow. First down. Our pregame interview, Tyler Fithian picks it up, and they move the chains for the Eagles into Panther territory at the 37-yard line.
Nice job by Tyler, because he got hit as soon as that ball hit his hands, and he tried to take a step forward, but he hung on to the football. First down, Eagles.
1st and 10 for the Eagles from the Panthers' 36-yard line. Pistol formation for Herman here. He hands it off to his tailback, Denny, who takes it around right end. He follows his blockers to the 30-yard line and picks up 6 yards on first down.
Good first run there, and every time he touches the ball, if you're a Panther fan, you got to hold your breath, and if you're a Georgetown fan, you're going, well, how come he didn't score?
Ryan Eady comes into the game to replace him at the running back. Trips to the left, a single tight end on the right. Eady now moves to the right of Herman in the shotgun. 2nd and 4 from the 30. Bradford goes in motion left to right. A quick pass out to the left side is caught, and then being swarmed up and brought down is that receiver for the Eagles. Making the catch is Cade Lachlan. He gets his first touch of the evening, but it's a loss as he tried to follow some blocks, but was read well by the Panthers.
As leery as the defense probably is about that running game, Pflugerville did a great job right there, because those short passes are really kind of an extension of the running game, and that running game keeps the defensive backs from really being able to come in and commit to that, but they did a good job of stopping that.
2 men in the backfield with Herman. 3rd and 5 from the Panthers' 31-yard line. McCown clears out of the backfield. It's a handoff to Eady, who goes around left end, and he lowers his shoulder and tries to extend the football to the yard to gain. I believe he'll be marked just short, and 4th and inches will be coming up for the Eagles.
That's a left foot, right foot spot, and you know what's coming. Here come those 3 big backs. Eady's in there, Denny's in there, Ross is in there, and then you got your big quarterback in the middle. So
jumbo set for the Eagles. The tailback is Denny. It's a handoff to Denny. He follows his blocks to the left side as the first down and more. Across the 20, the 15, the 10, into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles.
Great run. Great job of seeing that space that's back there behind him, because that was supposed to go to the left, but he looked to his right and he saw a great big opening over there, because that left side is where he's had his success, but that right side was open. He saw it and he's gone.
Carson Salcedo will kick the point after attempt, so the Eagles start off in plus territory at the Panther 49-yard line. The Eagle Booster Club drive recap, a 49-yard touchdown drive followed up with a 31-yard touchdown run by Nate Denny, who gets his first touchdown of the night. Last week, again, he had 5 against Leander. Salcedo sends the kick through the uprights and good. And Georgetown tacks on a 7-0 lead with 8:03 left to play in the opening quarter. They score on their first drive, and the defense gets a 3-and-out on their first series. It's all blue skies for the Eagles here at Pflugerville Stadium. The field. We'll be back in a moment on SHN Sports.
George's on the Town, a social grill, is a proud supporter of GISD athletics. Located just off of South I-35 in Rivery, George's on the Town offers an upbeat, casual dining experience that's fun for everyone. From rehearsal dinners and work events to happy hour and Sunday brunch, there's always something to do at George's on the Town. Be sure to check out live music on their pet-friendly patio every Thursday at 7, and of course the Eagle Nation Coaches Show on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. We can't wait to see you.
We're back here at the field as the Georgetown Eagles took the lead first, 7-0 over the Pflugerville Panthers on their first drive of the game. We missed the kickoff. It was Fulman getting it out to the 22-yard line. So 3 more yards from their previous starting drive are the Panthers.
Great job by the kick team because he lost a couple of yards after he caught the ball.
Rivas will hand it off, and it'll be a stretch play to the left side. Picking up a few yards across the 25-yard line for the Panthers is Jake Iolka, and that will move the ball to the 31, and that's a solid gain. We talked about it. It's going to be a lot of running tonight.
Yeah, Hunter Springer got some hands on him, wasn't able to bring him down, so he's able to gain about 4 yards, 4.5 yards. It's those tackles that we've talked about before. Got to make those tackles.
Hand off to Oakman this time, who follows his right guard across the 25-yard line, and only a gain of 1 as that Eagles front 7 is definitely going to be on top of those trenches.
Last week, Pflugerville had less than 100 yards passing, so they're not really a huge threat to throw the ball, but in circumstances like this where almost any team can throw that 3 or 4 yard pass and hope that they can break a tackle and get the first down. So I'd watch for a little swing pass out to the right.
And the Eagles have done a good job forcing third down on back-to-back offensive series here. Rivas in the shotgun. Looks to his right, a quick throw to the right. It's incomplete. That one was intended for Patrick Onia, and that will bring up 4th down. And once again, the Eagle defense gets a 3 and out.
That was a, swing pass to the right?
Yeah, isn't that what you just said?
I try.
It's like you do this. It's like you should be on the broadcast, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I'm having a good time.
Jose Zapata will kick it away to Nate Denny, who waits back at the 35-yard line in Eagle territory. Zapata puts toe to leather, and it's a booming kick. Denny will watch it bounce at the 40, and it takes a Panthers roll, but the line judge says that it went out of bounds at the Eagle 41-yard line, so that's where Georgetown will start. Their defense having a really strong showing, back-to-back 3 and outs to start this football game. 6:38 left to play in the opening quarter. Eagles looking to add on to their 7-0 lead.
That's really exciting, and I'm having to contain myself with those 2 straight 2 and outs. And great start, picture-perfect start.
1st and 10 for the Eagles from their own 41-yard line. It's 5 wide for Herman. Trips to the left and 2 receivers to the right from the right hash mark. He claps his hands for the snap, and it's a design quarterback run to the left side. Takes it to the middle of the field across the 45. Gets a second push by his offensive line that followed him to the 49-yard line. It's a borrow from Morrow, 1st down, and the Eagles get into Panther territory right away.
What a great play call. You clear out the backfield. You take both your running backs, all 3 of your running backs out of the game. You take those corners and the safety out of the picture, and then you send your big quarterback right up the gut, get a 1st down.
Denny is motioned to the left of Herman on 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. Eagles in Panther territory. Play action. Herman pump fakes. He's under pressure. The ball is loose. He dives on it back into Eagle territory to make sure Eagles retain possession there, and a loss back to the 43-yard line. Clock is still moving here, under 6 minutes to play in the first quarter.
Right when he was setting his feet to throw, Cade Lachlan was wide open in the middle of the field. If he could have set his feet and thrown the ball, it's a touchdown. But couldn't quite get there because of the pressure.
2nd and 18 instead from their own 43-yard line. Herman will hand it off to Denny. Denny makes one man miss, spins away from the pressure, dances across the 50 to the 45, and he's brought down at the 40. Saving that one from going any further was Brendan Johns, but it's close, and they will give him the borrow for Morrow 1st down. 5:29 is where the clock stops to move the chains.
I was taking a breath to say, well, they get him stopped for a short or no gain, and nope, 18 yards.
He is fun to watch. He knows how to run like a running back.
Wow.
2 receivers on both sides. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line in Panthers territory. Herman motions Denny to his right. Fithian goes in motion around the backside for the option, and he gets it on the option, taking it across the right side, follows a block from Edie across the 30, the 25, 20, he has blocks across the 10, and he's brought down inside the 5. Tyler Fithian on the option play makes things happen for the Eagles. They pick up a borrow from Morrow 1st down, and they get into the Smoothie King red zone.
Nice job by Tyler. That play's been so effective. We've seen it all season, and it has been so effective.
1st and goal for the Eagles from the 5 is where they marked Fithian out of bounds. Edey is the tailback that moves over to the right of Herman. Fithian is in the slot left. He comes in motion left to right, and it's a keeper for Herman who runs up the middle, and he was tripped up at the waist at the 5-yard line, but still fought for 2 yards, and it'll be second and goal from the 3.
Unbelievable. You just only gained 2 yards. What are we doing? He says that with a huge amount of jest. I love this big quarterback running that football.
Just a little bit closer to the goal line. Second and goal from the 3. Edey is the tailback for Herman in the pistol. Bradford goes in motion, and it's a zone read handoff to Edey, and Edey goes into the score for the Eagles. Touchdown.
Nice run. Patient run. Let your blocks happen. Touchdown for Ryan Edey.
Carson Salcedo will line up the point after attempt. Gets the hold from Sparkman. And the kick is through the uprights in. Good. So 4 possessions, 2 3-and-outs for the Eagles, 2 touchdown scores for the Eagles. The offense and the defense clicking on all cylinders, and we'll be back in a moment. 4:20 left to play in the first quarter. Eagles up 2 touchdowns.
At our bank, we believe in doing the right things for the right reasons. For our families, our communities, our future, just like you do. We believe the right thing is more than just a handshake or a promise. It's a relationship guided by honesty and integrity. How can our bank help you?
Thank you for calling our bank. This is Jenny. How can I help you?
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, it's Chip from Hewlett Volkswagen. It's that time of year for fall, football, and family. And our family has been making it easy on your family for almost 20 years, like with our new Express online shopping tool, where you can find the perfect Volkswagen fit for your life and budget. This month, save $3,600 on a new 2020 Jetta S. You can drive away in a brand new Volkswagen for under $20,000. We have a lot to choose from. Hewlett Volkswagen, off I-35 in Westinghouse, or see for yourself at hewlettvw.com.
We're back to live action here as the Eagles scored a touchdown to come out of the break, and then Fullman, who was brought up a little bit there, bottled up a little bit, was able to escape the Eagles' pressure, and then he gets it all the way out to midfield, and the best field positioning of the night for the Panthers as they find themselves down 14-0.
Side note, the head linesman who was trailing the play didn't see him step out of bounds. The side judge had to come back up the field because the head linesman had him crossing midfield 6-7 yards up the way.
First and 10 for the Panthers. Reeves in the shotgun. It's an option play to the right. He's going to keep it, and he tried to turn the corner, but he is brought down after only picking up a yard. And a nice tackle made by A.J. Bradshaw to make that only a gain of 1.
A.J. just chased a really fast quarterback down from behind and had some help there, but he came from the opposite side of the field to make that play. Great play by A.J.
Well, the scoreboard gives them an official gain of 2, but the chain gang looks like it's only a gain of 1. We'll call it a 2nd and 8, 3:33 left to play into the first quarter, and taking it around the left side is Fullman. Fullman finds some room across the 40, and then he is tripped up on the play. Making the tackle is AYDEN Valencia. Valencia was our guest on the George's on the Town Eagle Nation Coaches Show. He's a good kid, and he makes a lot of tackles out of that safety position. He keeps that one from going any further, but it is a first down for the Panthers.
Vice grip block on Hunter Springer on the left side of that line. Coaches were pounding on the desk wanting to hold, but they didn't get it, and then it's a first down. First action that Pflugerville had something going.
Rivas has Fullman and Oakman in the backfield with him. 1st and 10. They're in Eagle territory at the 36-yard line. It's a handoff to Oakman, who makes a couple defenders miss and then gets to the 30-yard line. They'll say he stepped out of bounds at the 32. Solid pickup of 5 yards by Oakman, as that's the first handoff for the Panthers in Eagles territory.
They say holding could be called every play, but big number 70 for Pflugerville, Colton Keeling, did a good job of hanging on to the defensive end. keeping his hands inside so he didn't get that flag out there, and that's what popped that play open to the left side.
They do keep the clock moving at 2:25 left to play in the first quarter. Rivas will drop back, looks to pass to the left side, down the sideline, and turn around. It is broken up by Bazell, meant for Donald Springs, and that will finally stop the clock at 2:18 as that clock has been running and bring up third down for the Eagle defense.
That was one I liked that the referees let them play. Little hand checking on both sides, but they both let them play. Let these guys have some contact. This is a big game. I don't want to see a lot of flags coming out of the pockets unless it's just something egregious.
I agree. We signed up for a good old-fashioned football game this evening. 3rd and 6 for Rivas. Hands it off to Oakman. Oakman shakes off a couple defenders, but then he is wrapped up and brought down. Bryson Hanks making the tackle and making sure that that doesn't go for a first down.
Nice job, too, AYDEN Valencia coming up and helping up from the safety position. And this is a big 4th down. I would imagine this 4-down territory for Pflugerville.
Yeah, they don't want to fall behind 3 scores. They're down 14-0 with 1:53 left to play in the first quarter. 4th and 5 from the Eagles' 31-yard line. 31-yard line. Rivas in the shotgun. Oakman to his right. The fullback is Fullman. Play action. Rivas rolls out to the right. Hits Fullman, who is running. He is tripped up by Hunter Springer. And nice tackle made there as Hunter Springer made sure that that one was not a first down.
That may be the stupidest comment I've made all season because it was 4th down. I said it's 4-down territory. Yeah, it's 4th down.
they were going to, it was a tough situation. You didn't know if they were going to pin the Eagles deep for their worst field positioning of the night, but now it's a turnover on down, and the Eagles will start at their own 30-yard line. 1:32 left to play in the first quarter. 14-0 Eagles looking to add on to their lead. Herman will hand it off to Denny on a stretch play to the left side, looking to turn the corner at the 30, and I think he only picked up a yard as he somersaults after the tackle made by Tony Bailey.
They wind up giving him 3, but Bailey got punished a little bit out there because he brought Denny down, but he got that stiff arm.
2nd and 7 from the 33-yard line. Trips right, single receiver to the left. Denny will come out of the slot and come into the backfield for the option play. He gets the pitch from Herman, follows a block to the right side across the 35-40, tries to make a defender miss and drags him across the 45-yard line. Give credit on the tackle to a very tough one as he was dragged a little bit by Denny there for Roberto Rodriguez.
Nice job getting the first down, 12-yard gain there by Denny. He's got his hands on his hip a little bit, so this may be one of those circumstances where they wind up bringing in Devin Ross after this play to spell him a little bit, keep his legs fresh.
That was a borrow from Morrow first down as the chains move, and it'll be a play-action play for Herman, and he hits Bradford in stride across the 40. He tries to get across the numbers to the 30, and he finds some space at the 20, looking for some room at the 10, into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles! 47 yards. Brandon Bradford.
What a beautiful run by Bradford. He was going to the right, but he let his receiver come in and make a block and that was a beautiful run by Brandon after he caught the ball. And that's what that running game does. It opens up those plays like that because you got to get a safety up there to help with the run. The linebackers have to commit to the run, and it opens up that kind of play.
Carson Salcedo will kick the point after attempt, and he's had a busy evening so far. 3 touchdowns scored in the first quarter, and a 3rd point after attempt kicked through by Salcedo. 21-0 with 26 seconds left to play in the first quarter. It's been all Georgetown Eagles here on SHN Sports. We'll be back in a moment.
You're ready for the future?
And the future is full of possibilities.
Because your dream home
is right around the corner.
If you're ready for the next step,
or 2,
or 3,
we can help. At our bank, we're ready to help you open doors to your future.
Our mortgage team is here and ready to begin your next step.
Doing the right things for the right reasons.
Welcome to our bank.
You belong here.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Many of us yearn for the glory of the field. To quarterback our team to victory. To catch the game-winning touchdown. But sadly, playing football is hard. What's not hard is getting a great deal on a Chevrolet from Don Hewlett. It's okay, fella. Everyone's a winner at Don Hewlett, but you still stink at football. Find new roads in Georgetown and at donhewlett.com. Don Hewlett, Texas True.
Are we back?
We are. Hey, we are back here at the field as we get back in time to catch this kickoff from South Seda. It'll be taken by one of the upmen, and he'll try and look for a block at the 25-yard line. He's not going anywhere as the Eagles swarm him to stop the forward progress at the 26-yard line. And with 19 seconds left to play in the first quarter, the Georgetown Eagles lead the Pflugerville Panthers 21-0, and it's been all Eagles, Kelly.
Man, it has been, but Devin Ross just absolutely destroyed one of the kick coverage guys on the sideline who was standing around watching the play happen, and that was a terrible mistake on his part because now he's just standing around the sideline wondering what happened.
Rivas on 1st and 10 has Aloka to his right, who clears out of the backfield. A handoff to Oakman, who tries to follow his right side of the line to the 30-yard line. He picks up about 4 yards, and he's brought down by Dre Langhorn, who loses his helmet on the play. He'll have to sit out for at least one play this series.
We talked about it in the pregame, and I said something about if Georgetown can get a lead and make Pflugerville throw the football, that heavily plays into the Eagles' hands. They're sticking with the run right now. There's no reason for them to panic, but we're done with the first quarter already, and we got a 21-point lead.
And, yeah, the Panthers do elect not to take another snap in the first quarter. We'll keep it right here, Kelly, because I don't think the Eagles have had a quarter all season that has looked that good, except maybe part of that Belton game, if you can go all the way back and think about that. But, I mean, the defense and the offense were clicking on all cylinders. 21-0 might be the best quarter this season.
Yeah, everything in this press box is simulated wood, so there's nothing to knock on. But that's the most – we said last week it was the most complete first half we'd seen, but that's the most complete first quarter we've seen out of the Eagles this season, offensively, defensively. Pflugerville had a little something going there after a long kick return, but they only wound up gaining 20 yards max and 20, 30 yards max. So great first quarter. This is where the defensive coaches just have to stay on this defense and keep their heads in the football game and finish this out.
You want to know a funny thing about the change of quarters?
No, not really.
Dre Langhorn gets to come back into the game.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
I was joking about that, by the way.
No worries. 2nd and 7. Rivas takes the snap. He hands it off to Leoka, and Leoka gets around to the right side across the 35 and the 40, and then he's brought down by AYDEN Valencia at the 43-yard line for the Panther first down.
Well, and that's the danger of that running game. They do have the ability to bust a lot of plays, averaging over 200 yards rushing a game, I believe. I know they had significantly more than that last week. So that outside contain is where they're going to have to really work hard tonight, because up the middle I don't think is a big issue, but that outside contain is.
Rivas on 1st and 10 on the play action decides to run it up the middle himself. Tried to cut out to the right side, and he is brought down by a few Eagles, Bryson Hanks and Dre Langhorn there to make initial contact. Give Emmanuel Obina a little bit of credit on contact as well. It was a pickup of 4 for the quarterback.
And that's what you want to see. You want to see him turn that back inside, because if he can bounce it outside, there's not much help out there. And Dre did a good job of rushing up the field and forcing him back inside. Good, solid, foundational, fundamental football on the defense on that play. He was able to gain a little bit, but with a quarterback like that, you'll take a 2 or 3 yard gain.
He has more rushing attempts than passing attempts this season so far, Rivas does. He will hand it off this time, and it'll be Oakman who gets across the 50. He is brought down by Bazell, and they are close to the yard to gain. I think they're going to call him short a yard. And, you know, we see the secondary getting caught up in a lot of these tackles because of this prominent run game.
Right, and you've got the linebackers sucked up so far. So really, when you get to that second level of the defense, you're already to the cornerbacks and the safeties at times, because the defense is throwing a lot of run blitzes at Pflugerville.
Big play here, 3rd and 1 for the Panthers. They are at the Eagles' 48-yard line. Rivas in the shotgun. Oakman to his left. 2 receivers on both sides. It's a handoff to the big man, Oakman, and he is hit at the line of scrimmage. The ball is loose, and diving on it is an Eagle. Coming up with the fumble recovery for Georgetown is Trent McConnell.
Oh, great play. Our camera lady is just probably wanting to freak out there, but there's a nice, steady shot. Great job by this Eagle defense of getting that turnover. That's crucial because Pflugerville had a little something going, but the defense was able – they had him stopped short of the line to gain too, so it was going to be 4th down, but they got that football back on that turnover. Great job. Now it's time to turn this Eagle offense loose.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. They start at their own 49-yard line following the fumble recovery by McConnell. A jumbo set in the backfield for Herman. Denny is the tailback. It's a play action for Herman. Throws it across the middle, lobs it up to Edie, who came out of the backfield. Nobody around him. A 51-yard touchdown run for Georgetown.
Holy cow, what a pass play. Edie just chipped his guy and then took off, and there was no safety help. That's the running game doing that, because the safeties are so worried about the run, they got to come up and make a stop, and there was nobody there.
4 offensive possessions, 4 Georgetown touchdowns. You don't get more efficient than that. The point after attempt by Carson Salceda is through the uprights and good. And
nope,
the Georgetown,
he missed it.
Oh, just wide right. It looked good from my angle, and he has only missed 2 field goals this entire year, so that marked that as the second. And the Eagles still happy with their 27-0 lead. 10 minutes left to play in the second quarter. We'll be back in a moment on SHN Sports.
George's on the Town, a social grill, is a proud supporter of GISD athletics. Located just off of South I-35 in Rivery, George's on the Town offers an upbeat, casual dining experience that's fun for everyone. From rehearsal dinners and work events to happy hour and Sunday brunch, there's always something to do at George's on the Town. Be sure to check out live music on their pet-friendly patio every Thursday at 7, and of course the Eagle Nation Coaches Show on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. We can't wait to see you.
Was that pass play?
51 yards. 51 yards for Ryan Edie, who caught it out of the backfield, and as Kelly Duvall mentioned, it was a credit to the run game that brought the safeties in. Carson Salcedo with the ensuing kickoff will send it deep, and it'll be taken by Aloka, who is brought down from behind, making the tackle for the Georgetown Eagles. An impressive one from behind was made by Devin Ross.
Drives like that are going to keep us from being able to talk about the borrow from Morrow red zone, because we're not getting – is it borrow from
Borrow from Morrow first down and the Smoothie King red zone.
Smoothie King red zone. So I talked about both of them, but we haven't hardly been able to talk about the Smoothie King red zone because of these long plays, but I'll take them.
I don't think a touchdown is technically a first down since it's the end of the offensive drive. So, you know, we don't get to say either in that particular case following the 51-yard touchdown reception by Ryan Edie, but it is a pat-static night for the Eagles so far. 9:55 left to play until halftime, and the Panthers have some work to do. 1st and 10 for Rivas on the zone read. He hands it off to Aloka, and he is brought down, and a heavy hit by Emmanuel Obina for a tackle for loss.
Wow. Emmanuel came through just about untouched and just blew that play up, and it's got to be frustrating for these Panthers that their run game is doing nothing.
Clock keeps moving here. 9:30 left until the locker rooms. The loss is officially 3 yards. 2nd and 13. Rivas will roll out to the right. Looks for a pass to the right side. It is caught at the 40 and then bringing it down at the 45-yard line. Donald Springs picks up the first down for the Panthers, and a little bit of success in the air when they didn't even bother faking the run. So that might be the way they have to go, down 27-0 here.
And that's got to give the coaches some confidence in the pass play, and they may start trying to throw the ball a little bit more down by 4 scores. That's the longest play from scrimmage they've had tonight on a pass play, and you don't often say that about this Pflugerville offense this season.
Clock picks back up, under 9 minutes to play in the second quarter. Dropping back as Rivas throws it across the middle, and Bazell almost had the interception.
Yeah.
Donald Springs is looking for the pass interference, but no amount of complaining will
he
break
got
up
it.
that.
He got
did get it?
Yeah, the side judge threw the flag.
I didn't see that. I was looking at it pretty close. Did you catch that?
Yeah, because after I saw that jersey tug, I looked right at that side judge to see if he was pulling it, and I saw him pulling it, and I watched him throw it. Yeah, that's all Aaron Bazell could do. If he doesn't grab him, he's gone.
Fair enough. I thought it was good coverage, but you probably saw it before the throw, unlike me. 1st and 10 for the Panthers following the penalty, and I believe this will be the first time out by Charles Taylor. We'll take it with them here on SHN Sports. The Eagles with a 27-0 lead, 8:51 left to play in the first half.
You're ready for the future?
And the future is full of possibilities.
Because your dream home
is right around the corner.
If you're ready for the next step,
or 2,
or 3,
we can help. At our bank, we're ready to help you open doors to your future.
Our mortgage team is here and ready to begin your next step.
Doing the right things for the right reasons.
Welcome to our bank.
You belong here.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Many of us yearn for the glory of the field. To quarterback our team to victory. To catch the game-winning touchdown. But sadly, playing football is hard. What's not hard is getting a great deal on a Chevrolet from Don Hewlett. It's okay, fella. Everyone's a winner at Don Hewlett. But
we are back to live action here on SHN Sports. Apologies to Hewlett for cutting off their commercial here, but it's 1st and 10. Panthers at the Eagles' 36-yard line. Rivas will drop back. He's under pressure, and he's hit as he throws. It's intercepted by an Eagle. Taking it down the left sideline across the 45-50. He has blockers at midfield across the 30, and he's trying to take it to the 20. Call that an interception and return into the Smoothie King red zone for AYDEN Valencia.
What a great read of that play. I was afraid they were going to throw a flag on some illegal contact down the field, but they let him play. And then Valencia gets that ball down the field. Pflugerville's quarterback did a great job of chasing him down because there were 2 people who could have blocked that quarterback, and he was able to defeat those blocks and keep AYDEN out of the end zone. But here's the issue for Pflugerville. Nate Denny, Ryan Eady, Darson Herman.
You know, and I apologize. It was actually a Chuck Griffin timeout. The Eagles used their first timeout of the half before that interception and return. So, you know, you guys talked about it and corrected me at during the break, but that was a really smart call by Coach Griffin. They have 7 seconds on the play clock here as the offense trots back out. 2 men in the backfield with Herman. He drops back and lobs one up to the left side, trying to catch it and incomplete. No flag coming in. That pass was intended for Jacob Trussell, and that stops the clock at 8:31 left to play in the second quarter.
Darson took a shot. I'm guessing we're about to see a running play.
That's a fair guess considering the success the Eagles have on the ground too.
Why not?
They had to come up with a play really quick there, trotting back out after the turnover.
Well, they've got a mismatch out on the right side right now.
Out of the pistol, Herman has Denny behind him. A handoff to Denny. It's a stretch play to the right side. He's under pressure. He makes one defender miss, and then he evades a second tackle, but he was tripped up on the play. Denny does pick up a couple yards after being brought down by Ty Chestnut.
That was a touchdown-saving tackle because whenever Nate cut back to the left, everybody had pursued over to the right, and almost the entire Pflugerville defense was outside that hash mark.
3rd and 7 in the Smoothie King red zone at the 12-yard line. Pistol formation for Herman. He has Denny behind him. It's a pass to the right side, caught by Bradford at the 11-yard line, just short of the first down. Let's see if they give him forward progress, and I think it'll only be half a yard and bring up 4th down. 4th and 1 is the official.
All right, we keeping the offense on the field.
Yeah, the Eagles are not interested in a field goal attempt here.
No.
7:37 left to play. A jumbo set in the backfield. Ross to the left, Edie to the right, and Denny is the tailback for Herman in the shotgun. 4th and 1. Handoff to Denny. He finds a hole up the middle, gets the first down. That's a borrow from Morrow first down inside the 5-yard line. I think they mark him down at around the 2, so 1st and goal from the 3-yard line is where it is officially. Jumbo set again. Eagles want to press the tempo here with 7:15 left to play in the second quarter. Herman in the shotgun. Play action, it's a zone read, keeping it was Herman, and the ball came loose. The Panthers are saying they have it, but I think the officials are saying that Herman was down when the ball came loose. So the tackle for loss to the 5-yard line brings up 2nd and goal from the 5.
The only disadvantage to that is, and Pflugerville did a good job, I was watching their linebackers on the end who actually moved up to the line and were more like linemen, and they just rushed straight up the field to keep that contained inside, and it was successful. Now they're spreading them with the offense.
They mark it at the 6 officially. 2nd and goal from the 6. Herman will drop back on a 1-step. He's under pressure. He wants to tuck it and run, and he gets across the 5, looks for the end zone, and he is marked down at the 1-yard line. But what a heads-up play by Herman. He sensed the pressure, and he was able to cut it back in, almost got the 6 points.
A couple of Golden Corral Kings just came on the field, and these buffet killers are about to move this line off and push this ball across the end zone. 3rd and goal from the 1. Edie is the back to the right. Denny is the tailback, and I think Chuck Griffin wants to use his 2nd timeout. We'll keep it right here. 6:06 left to play until halftime. 27-0 your score. The Georgetown Eagles lead the Pflugerville Panthers, and you talk about keeping the foot on the pedal, and that is certainly a situation here as the Eagles making sure they have the right play drawn up for this 3rd and goal from the 1. And I think they're going to go ahead and take 2 chances here to try and punch it in, don't you think? Absolutely. And here's the thing. We talk a lot about the Nate Denny's of the world and the Darson Hermans and the Ryan Eadies, but the guys who are doing this are our big beef eaters up front, like number 50 Connor Heffernan, the big left tackle. He's 6'4", 270 pounds. He's got tons of commits or tons of offers. He's committed to Baylor. And him and the rest of that offensive line are doing a phenomenal job this season of blocking. And the receivers are blocking. Everybody's doing their job. And that's why Coach Griffin has the faith in this team to go for it right here. And I bet they'll take 2 shots at it.
6:06 left to play in the second quarter. Herman in the shotgun. He hands it off to Denny, and Denny dives in for the Eagles touchdown.
Nice. And like I said, I was betting they were going to get a couple of shots at that one.
The point after attempt will be attempted by Salcedo, who only missed his 2nd field goal of the season on the previous point after attempt. I'm sure he was eager and happy that he gets such a quick opportunity to get back out on the field. This kick is as perfect as it gets, and the Georgetown Eagles add on one more. 34-0 your score. 6 minutes straight up to play in the second quarter. It has been all Georgetown. Anytime Pflugerville seems to get something going, there's been a fumble recovery and an interception, and otherwise it's been mostly 3 and outs the rest of the way. So, and then a turnover on downs as well. We haven't really seen there have been a couple punts, obviously, on those 3 and outs, but anytime that it seems like Pflugerville has a little something going, they can't really finish it off.
The defense is playing lights out, and right now is the time where this is where you want to try to make Pflugerville quit if you can. And again, we saw something similar last week. Georgetown jumps out to a big lead. Now the challenge is keeping that defense head in the game and keep pushing forward, keep pushing, and just try to demoralize Pflugerville. I'm not talking about just running the score up for the sake of running it up. I'm talking about getting your defense to just impose their will on this Pflugerville Panthers offense.
Fullman and Aloka back deep to receive this ensuing kickoff from Carson Salcedo. Salcedo with a 3-yard charge and a powerful leg will send it to Aloka at the 20-yard line. He takes it down the left hash mark, finds the space across the 30, the 35, 40, and he gets hit hard at the 40-yard line. Still is able to bounce forward a couple yards forward, but man, what a hit right there to stop that run by Cole Petter.
I was bragging on the special teams, and that's their first time that Pflugerville has had some success against them on the kicking team, but defense is back on the field. Let's see what they got set up.
1st and 10 for Pflugerville. They start at their own 43-yard line. 34-0. Georgetown leads Pflugerville. They need to get on the scoreboard. 5:51 left to play in the first half. Bowman goes in motion left to right. It's a handoff to Oakman, who follows his blocks to the left side, and he is stopped just short of midfield. AYDEN Valencia in on the tackle there, as it's all hands on deck for this run game against Pflugerville.
And it's got to be, and it's been pretty successful to this point. Like you said earlier, when Pflugerville started getting something going, there's been a turnover, or the Eagles were able to tighten up, but
5:23 left to play in the first half. 2 receivers on both sides. Bowman goes in motion. And Bowman will get it on the end around, getting around the 45 to the 50, and he picks up a few yards. A new quarterback in the game, that was Desmond Thomas, who actually gets a little bit of time coming up from the JV.
Good tackle by Adam O'Brien, chasing that play down from the back side and able to make a good, solid tackle out there on the edge.
Third and 2. A big third down here for the Panthers. Desmond Thomas in the shotgun. He'll give it to Oakman. Oakman goes around right end, and I think, yeah, he does pick up the first down across the 45, keeping this drive going for the Panthers. It would be good for the Panthers, and obviously we're wearing blue up here, but it would be, and they're wearing blue, I guess, too. We're wearing the Eagle blue, I should say, but it'd be good for the Panthers and to get a score going into the locker rooms to try and at least have a little momentum. So they're trying hard here with the new quarterback, Thomas. Thomas will drop back on one step, pump fakes, and then throws to the right, and it's incomplete through the hands of Donald Springs. Stops the clock at 4:01 left to play in the first half.
Good coverage out there, and it looked kind of like that Plinko game on Price is Right, with that thing bouncing around a lot. But I think a couple of people tipped it, but it falls harmlessly incomplete. And I guess Pflugerville's just trying something new. They got nothing to lose, down 34-0, so let's bring in another quarterback and see if he can get something going.
Definitely not the first time that Thomas has gotten some action with the varsity this season, even though it's a one-loss team. 2 receivers on both sides. The handoff to Oakman, who finds some space up the middle, and he's tripped up across the 40, stopped at the 41 officially for a gain of 5 on second down.
Boy, when he gets a head of steam up, that's hard to bring down. He's a big kid and runs hard and low to the ground.
They don't have his weight listed, but he's a 2-year letter winner, so this is his 3rd year starting with the Pflugerville Panthers, and you can tell he's a big kid. He's in the backfield. Oakman is with Thomas. 2 receivers on both sides. 3rd and 5. Thomas will drop back. He's under pressure immediately. He's trying to set up a screen, but it's intercepted. Flag comes in, but the Eagles are going to have clear sailing. Trying to take it the other way for Georgetown is Noah Maidlow. He's going to be untouched in the end zone. Let's see what this flag's about. Otherwise, this is a touchdown for the Eagles.
They're going to call a hold because the running back was coming out of the backfield, and I think one of the defensive linemen grabbed him. They were or one of the linebackers. They were setting up a screen.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 2 on the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's a roughing the passer called against the Eagles, and that will be a 15-yard penalty, negate the pick 6. And with 3:14 left to play, the ball moved forward following the interception on 3rd down, automatic first down. And this is the closest to the goal line the Panthers have been all night, at the Eagle 24-yard line.
I didn't see what Dre Langhorn did that got him called for the roughing the passer penalty, but I was watching where that screen was getting set up.
2 receivers on both sides for Thomas. Thomas will have a design run to the left side. He follows Oakman's block across the 20 and to the 15. He is brought down just shy of the first down. Tackle made by the Eagles' Adam O'Brien.
So this has got to be a boost for Pflugerville and give them some excitement, because they know exactly what happened last week with Leander getting down big and then making a big comeback. So if anybody thinks they've quit, you'd be wrong.
Thomas will send Fullman in motion, and on a play action or on a zone read, he keeps it. And let's see, this is a left or right foot mark here as it's close to the yard to gain. And Valencia made the stop in time. It'll be 3rd and inches here with 2:22 left to play in the first half.
Nice open field tackle there by Ayden. Big 4th down here.
Oakman is in the backfield with Thomas. And a handoff to Oakman, and he has stood up at the line of scrimmage, and I think he got forward progress just past the yard to gain, and that will move the chains. Eagles celebrated for half a moment, but half a churn of a leg is the difference between a first down and a turnover on downs, or 4th down coming up.
He got met solid at the line and just barely got there, but Pflugerville's still alive. Now's a chance for this Georgetown defense to, if like Dave said earlier in the pregame, they're wanting a statement game. Right now it's time for that statement with an exclamation point.
1st and 10 from the 14-yard line, Panthers and Eagles territory. Thomas will have Fullman in the backfield for an option play, and flags come in. This is probably a false start.
False start, 22, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So that backs up the Panthers 5 yards and breaks up a play that was developing for an option. Minute 29 left to play in the first half. Eagles looking to keep this shutout going.
If Pflugerville can put the ball in the end zone here, that penalty is a 14-point swing, because instead of going up 40 or 41 to nothing, this makes it a 4-score game again.
10 seconds left on the play clock as Thomas gets to the line. He hands it off to Oakman on the delayed give, and Oakman is brought down at the 18-yard line, only a gain of 1 on the play.
Dre Langhorn came on a run blitz on the outside there, and forced Oakman to turn up the field a little bit more, but there was some help there.
Now it is the first timeout by Charles Taylor. We'll keep it right here. It's 2 timeouts for the Panthers left, 1 timeout left for the Eagles. The Eagles are up 34-0, 58 ticks of the clock left until halftime. And, you know, this game held true to the prediction of a run game that was heavy. And Thomas comes in, provides a little bit more passing, but the success hasn't really been there, so they stick to the ground game.
This is the kind of game where I miss having our statistician. Galen Welnicki was our statistician last year, and I got used to Galen handing me stats, but there's a lot of running happening. We haven't even been an hour into this game, and there's only 58 seconds left in the first half. We're in the Smoothie King Red Zone. Well, it's not the Smoothie King Red Zone for Pflugerville.
I was about to say, I don't think we give them credit for advertising, but we do appreciate the Smoothie King sponsors.
We do.
2nd and 14, ball at the 18-yard line. Thomas will roll out to the right, pump fakes and then throws into the end zone and overthrows Donald Springs, incomplete. On the coverage for Georgetown is Nick Grasso, and that brings up 3rd down. The clock stops at 51 seconds left to play in the first half.
Trying to keep a little, some of the stats over here a little bit. I need a tick mark spot for the stupid stuff I've said tonight. That might run off the page.
Play clock under 20 seconds here as the Panthers are setting up an important 3rd down. 3rd and 14, ball at the 18-yard line. It'll be an option here for Thomas. Thomas gets across the 15 to the 10, looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers.
That's a big score for Pflugerville. Now this Georgetown defense needs to take that, let that upset them a little bit, not let that happen again.
Yeah, unfortunately, as you mentioned, that 14-point swing comes to fruition here, and the point after attempt by Zapata will come here as He gets the snap and the hold, and it's through the uprights and good. And the Panthers get on the scoreboard for the first time this evening. 42 seconds left in the first half. The Eagles lead it 34-7. We'll be back in a moment on SHN Sports.
You're ready for the future?
And the future is full of possibilities.
Because your dream home
is right around the corner.
If you're ready for the next step,
or 2,
or 3,
we can help. At our bank, we're ready to help you open doors to your future.
Our mortgage team is here and ready to begin your next step.
Doing the right things for the right reasons.
Welcome to our bank.
You belong here.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Many of us yearn for the glory of the field, to quarterback our team to victory, to catch the game-winning touchdown. But sadly, playing football is hard. What's not hard is getting a great deal on a Chevrolet from Don Hewlett. It's okay, fella. Everyone's a winner at Don Hewlett, but you still stink at football. Find new roads in Georgetown and at donhewlett.com. Don Hewlett, Texas true.
It's the first kickoff from Zepeda this evening. He sends this one high and short. It'll be taken by one of the Eagles upmen at the 25, and then Petter steps out of bounds as he makes the catch. Ooh, I think he was shorted a little bit right there. They mark him at the 24-yard line, and with 40 seconds left, the Eagles still have an opportunity to build on their 34-7 lead.
Where did that spike come from?
I guess they will say that it will not be the 25-yard line.
Huh. I thought he was a little farther up the field. I guess I was wrong. And stupid number 3.
First and 10 for the Eagles as they have 40 seconds to score here. And it's a handoff up the middle for Nate Denny. He is hit and dropped down by the Panthers' Josh Kruger, and I think the Eagles might be content taking this lead into the locker room as the play clock is turned off. 22 seconds left until halftime, and the coaches next door for Georgetown are packing up and heading downstairs. Looks like the Eagles will try and get one more play off here. Herman in the pistol. Play action, looks to the right, throws to the right. It is completed by Bradford across the 40 to midfield, and he is brought down at the Panthers' 46-yard line. Clock stops with 4 seconds left to move the chains. Eagles also have a timeout left in their pocket. They're not going to hurry up and spike it to try and waste it down to stop the clock, so they will use a timeout here. And you know, successful play like that might as well go for one final attempt down the field.
Why not? If you got nothing there, take the sack or just go down. But Coach Griffin just ran about 25 yards up the field, calling timeout, chasing down the side judge. Looked pretty svelte in that run. Nice athletic gait from the coach.
Was he a former player, do you know? I bet he was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. I'm Carl Schoening. He's Kelly Duvall if you need to write complaints.
What? Svelte is not a...
We might be whipping on the jokes here, but we can't hear people laughing at home. So, you know, that's the beauty of talking into mics and not getting the feedback right away from the audience.
I can't hear eyes being rolled either.
First and 10 for the Eagles. They're at the Panthers' 46-yard line. Herman in the pistol with Edey behind him, and Edey moves over to his right, trips to the right side. Herman will drop back and throws it to the right side on a trick play. It's given to Cade Lachlan, and then he laterals it again to Edey. Edey down the right sideline into the end zone. Eagles touchdown! We saw them work on that play week 1 in the practice. They finally pull it out, and what a call!
That was one we were filming at the preseason practices, and coach is like, don't show that.
Oh, no, they saved that one. That one was beauty.
There it is.
Ryan Edey gets the touchdown. Lachlan gets the first lateral, and then the Eagles just take it in for the score, 46 yards, and then a point after attempt through the uprights and good for Carson Salceda. Zeros on the clock. We're at the half. 41-7 your score. The Georgetown Eagles just dominate the Pflugerville Panthers in the first half. We're going to take a break on SHN Sports. We'll be back with more here. Stay tuned for the halftime show.
At our bank, we believe in doing the right things for the right reasons. For our families, our communities, our future, just like you do. We believe the right thing is more than just a handshake or a promise. It's a relationship guided by honesty and integrity. How can our bank help you?
Thank you for calling our bank. This is Jenny. How can I help you?
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, it's Chip from Hewlett Volkswagen. It's that time of year for fall, football, and family. And our family has been making it easy on your family for almost 20 years, like with our new Express online shopping tool, where you can find the perfect Volkswagen fit for your life and budget. This month, save $3,600 on a new 2020 Jetta S. You can drive away in a brand new Volkswagen for under $20,000. We have a lot to choose from. Hewlett Volkswagen, off I-35 in Westinghouse, or see for yourself at hewlettvw.com.
We welcome to the SHN Sports Georgetown Eagles halftime show, Mr. Greg Gold, owner of AU Concepts and Designs. Greg, thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
So some of our viewers may be wondering why on earth I'm interviewing a guy with a concepts, but you and I talked a little bit earlier. I'm a uniform guy, and there's a new design to the Eagle helmets this year, and Coach talked to me a little bit about it before the season, but you're the one that made the design for the new helmets, right?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And this is the new helmet. Talk about what Coach came to you with and what y'all tried to do and were able to accomplish with the new helmet.
Right. So, Coach wanted to bring back more of and keep the traditional look, but bring some flair to it. And with a lot of coaches that I work with, one of my favorite things is taking traditional looks and designs, and then just adding some pop, changing some what I call texture to it, or some different finishes to still keep the integrity of that traditional look, but just give it some real pop and help it stand out a little bit more. And so Coach specifically asked me, what do you think? Is there a chrome blue that can match, or is there a chrome blue that can match our traditional blue?
Right.
When you start adding some of those different finishes, it can really alter the look. We played with some colors, we got it right, and now you're looking at it.
So talk a little bit about what differences. You've got the chrome on there, but what are some other changes that were made this year to the helmet?
What we did, we added some numbers, and of course we added the Texas flag, which a lot of schools did this year, was adding the flag, not just the flag, but the shape of it. More importantly, we did kind of the clear background onto the G, so that way that silver portion matches the silver portion exact to the helmet. A lot of times, some companies that I kind of compete with, not to knock them, but they use kind of a lower grade of vinyl. And because of that, when you put the clear vinyl look onto a helmet, a lot of times it can come through cloudy and not very crisp. And so since we do use that higher quality vinyl, we're able to match those colors perfectly without degrading the color in the clear section of the area.
Also, y'all made the white wider on the center stripe, correct?
A little bit wider, and we also use chrome white. So a lot of teams, I think I'm one of two companies that actually can do chrome white. So what you see there in the middle is chrome white, which has more of kind of a pearly look. It also has that foil back behind the color that doesn't allow for the white color to degrade. No matter what white vinyl is used, there's going to be some small color degradation just because the background of the color on the helmet. It's super bad on darker helmets like blacks, dark greens, and stuff like that. But for us to be able to pull that off and do it the way Coach wanted, and having that bright white, especially when the light hits it at night, it really just jumps off the helmet.
Well, they look sharp, and I'm impressed with the work. They look fantastic. How did you get into this industry?
Man, it's funny. It's such a funny story. I love it. But so my son started playing tackle football in 2017. And obviously, as you guys can see, I'm a big time OSU guy. And there was without a doubt, we were going to be the OSU Cowboys. And so I wanted them to look just like them or something close to. So to that point, I designed his helmet. I ended up finding a company online that could actually print it exactly the way I want it and make it last. Because that was the most important thing for me is that, which a lot of schools, the reason why they use me is because the integrity of the actual decal itself, it lasts all week. What a lot of people don't understand is that, you see these colleges on TV, the NFL, and very, very few, probably out of the 600 teams I work with, probably 2 of them, change decals, multiple times throughout the year. So this decal not only has to last and look good for the games, it's got to last for practices, scrimmages, you name it, right? So for me, it was important, even though they were just, 7-year-old boys, they're not flying at each other at 100 miles an hour like they are in the high school and college level. It was important for me that their decals did last. So anyway, I found a company, put it together. I had several other teams reach out to me like, hey, who did your helmets? And I said, I did. They're like, would you do ours? And so I did about 5 or 6 teams for free. And I said, yeah, reach out to this company. Here's my design. Tell them I sent you. We'll take care of it. About that same time, my brother became so at the end of that fall year, my brother became the head coach at White House, which he's still there now. Good old Patrick Mahomes High School.
Yep.
So he's the head coach over there, and he said, "Hey, bro, we've got to have you do our helmets." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Well, no promises, but I'll do my best and put something together for you." And he was like, "Okay." And so I did the design. I sent the design to him. He said, "Man, this is the best design I've ever seen." Like, he's like, he's like, "Can I see a sample at least?" I'm like, sure thing. And so he's like, "Hey, while you're at it, when you come out here, put something together for John Tyler, which is now Tyler High."
Right.
He said, put something together for John Tyler because Rickland, which is a guy I played with at Oklahoma State, he's the head coach over there. So I was like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. So I put something together for both teams. Went to my brother first. He was, knocked the socks off. He was excited, loved it. Went to John Tyler. He loved it. I went online and saw kind of what he did, and this really surprised him, and because they did 4 helmets at that time. And so when I presented all 4 or 5 different looks, I asked him, I was like, okay, cool, which one do you want to do? He said all of them. So those were my very first actually, White House was my first team, then John Tyler. My wife is super into social media. And so she's like, hey, babe, you gotta post this stuff. You gotta start adding stuff. And so I was like, sure. I didn't really know much about social media marketing, so I let her run with it. Added those 2 teams, and that year, honestly, I had a goal of 20 teams. I was like, man, if we just did 20 teams, that'd be super cool. It'd be really awesome to do some local teams. And so we put 20 teams together, or excuse me, we ended up finishing with about a little over 43 teams that year in our first year. Year 2, we did, this is after we posted the helmets. Then year 2 happened, we had about a little over 350. And then this year we're about 600 and counting. So wow. It just was insane. It's a really cool fun fact, especially for you guys. My very first team of all teams, of all helmets, of all anything was Georgetown softball.
Really?
Yep, batting helmets.
Well, I was wondering who did their helmets because they look really good.
Yep. Yep, it was Georgetown. Coach Bond, her husband, actually, ironically, her husband was one of my best friend's roommates in college. He's offensive lineman at Oklahoma State, and he's on the coaching staff at Georgetown now. And it was funny. I spent a couple of years really trying to do the football team, and I got my chance this year, and Coach asked me to come on board and was able to put together for you guys. And man, I'll tell you this, I really can't wait for the matte black alternate for next year. You guys are gonna love that one.
Oh man, that's exciting.
Yeah,
like I told you earlier, me and my son are uniform people, so we can't wait.
Yep.
So, how can people see your work?
How can people see my work?
Yeah.
You can go to my Twitter account. It's AU Designs is the account. And then if you go to also Instagram, We post stuff weekly. When we get into the season, it's typically daily. But all my work is on there. I have great relationships with coaches, and they retweet a bunch of my stuff throughout the season as well. So yeah, definitely get on there on AU Designs at AU Designs on Twitter. Check it out, and yeah, you'll be able to see all my work.
Well, I appreciate you letting us use your video of the spinning helmet. We're using that at the beginning of our pregame show now. So
love it.
With your logo on there, throwing your stuff out there because that's fantastic. Look, Greg, we really appreciate you joining us, man.
Absolutely. Hey, I really appreciate you guys having me.
Well, and let us know if we can do anything for you, and hopefully one day we'll get to meet face to face.
Oh yeah, we'll make it happen for sure.
Folks, it's Greg Gold, AU Concepts and Designs, designer of not only the Georgetown Eagles helmets, but over 600 teams throughout the United States. Stay with us on the halftime show. The second half kickoff is coming up shortly here on SHN Sports.
She is supported by her parents, Joanna and Mike Mitchell. Alexa plans to attend school to pursue a Bachelor of Arts degree in anthropology. Next up is Lauren Osborne. Lauren Osborne is a 30-year member. She is supported by her parents, April and Martin Osborne. Lauren plans to attend Alabama State to pursue a Bachelor's in Business and Fine Arts. Our next senior is LaShanti Randolph. LaShanti is a 4-year member of the Panther dance team. She is supported by her mother, Tamika Williams. LaShanti plans to attend Texas State University to pursue a degree in business management and administration and dance. Our next member is Marissa Brockmorton. Marissa is a 2-year member of the Panther dance team. She is supported by her parents, Jennifer Nunez and Michael Brockmorton. Marissa plans to attend the University of North Texas to pursue a degree in journalism. And finally, Social Officer Kamaya Weaver. Kamaya Weaver is a 4-year member of the Lady Panther dance team. She is supported by her mother, Leticia Hensley. Kamaya plans to attend the University of Texas A&M Commerce to major in animal science. Next up is our Panther band seniors. First for the Panther band is Bailey Aiken Jimenez. Her parents are Justin Aiken and Yari Aiken Jimenez. Bailey's plan is to go to college and study music education. Next up is Bella Banda. Bella's parents are Maricela Banda and Victor Banda. Bella plans to major in business at a university. Our next senior is Kendall Britting. Kendall's parents are John and Lena Griffin. Kendall plans to go to college to pursue a degree in music performance. Our next senior is Samantha DeZayu. Samantha's parents are Lorena DeZayu and Steve DeZayu. Her plans are to go to Texas A&M University at Galveston and be a marine biologist. Our next senior is Raina Doherty. Raina was a member of the color guard and tuba section. Our next senior is Logan Galvan. Logan's parents are Shannon McGill and Tony Galvan. Logan's plans to go to UT and become a music educator. Our next senior is Caitlin Gariondo. Her parents are Mercedes Gariondo and Roy Gariondo. Caitlin's plan is to go to Texas State and become a science teacher. Next up is Cassie Gomez. Cassie's parents are Michelle Gomez and Carlos Gomez. Her plans are to go to Texas State and study environmental sciences. Our next senior is Jamar Gooden. Jamar's parents are Monica Jones and Christopher Gooding. Jamar's plan is to go to the University of Houston to study music education. Our next senior is Matthew Gutierrez. Matthew is a fourth-year member of the trumpet section. Our next senior is Katie Herber. Katie's parents are Mark and Pam Herber. Katie's plans are to attend Angelo State University and get a degree in engineering. Our next senior is Helena Keating. Helena's parents are Greg and Jennifer Keating. Helena's plan is to go to college to pursue a career in nursing while working as a pharmacy technician. Our next senior is Allison Kingsley. Allison is a four-year member of the percussion section. Our next senior is Dylan Led. Dylan's father is Todd Led. Dylan's plan is to go to music to become go to college to become a musician. Our next senior is Stephen Liu. Stephen Liu is a four-year member of the band and serves as drum major. Our next member is Lauren Mangweed. Lauren is a member of the color guard section. Our next senior is Noah Mangum. Noah's parents are Matt and Michelle Mangum. Noah's plan is to go to college to study biochemistry or engineering. Our next senior is Sebastian Marion. Sebastian's parents are Carlos Marion and Maricela Marion. Sebastian's plan is to go to college and study business. Our next senior is Julian Martinez Ortiz. His mother is Tashira Ortiz. His plan is to attend Austin Community College to study math. Our next senior is Chadney Nipani. Her parents are Deva Nipani and Rama Nipani. Chadney's plan is to go to the University of Texas at Dallas to study computer science. Our next senior is Hannah Raymond. Hannah's parents are John Raymond and Tony Raymond. After high school, Hannah wants to go to college to study music. Our next senior is Haley Rodriguez. Her parents are Renee and Yolanda Rodriguez. Haley's plans after high school is to go to UT and go into business. Our next senior is Adrian Rose. Adrian's parents are Daniqua Ryder. Adrian plans to go to the University of Texas at San Antonio to major in computer information systems. Our next senior is Nicola Rowe. Nicola is a four-year.
At our bank, we believe in doing the right things for the right reasons. For our families, our communities, our future, just like you do. We believe the right thing is more than just a handshake or a promise. It's a relationship guided by honesty and integrity. How can our bank help you?
Thank you for calling our bank. This is Jenny. How can I help you?
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, it's Chip from Hewlett Volkswagen. It's that time of year for fall, football, and family. And our family has been making it easy on your family for almost 20 years, like with our new Express online shopping tool, where you can find the perfect Volkswagen fit for your life and budget. This month, save $3,600 on a new 2020 Jetta S. You can drive away in a brand new Volkswagen for under $20,000. We have a lot to choose from. Hewlett Volkswagen, off I-35 in Westinghouse, or see for yourself at hewlettvw.com.
Our next senior is Arden Warnicki. Arden's parents are Melissa Grisbowski and Clark Warnicki. Arden's plan is to attend a music conservatory and become an orchestra musician and professional horn player. And last but not least, Caleb Wolf. Caleb's parents are Amos Wolf and Sherry Hoffman. Caleb's plan is to study.
George's on the Town, a social grill, is a proud supporter of GISD athletics. Located just off of South I-35 in Rivery, George's on the Town offers an upbeat, casual dining experience that's fun for everyone. From rehearsal dinners and work events to happy hour and Sunday brunch, there's always something to do at George's on the Town. Be sure to check out live music on their pet-friendly patio every Thursday at 7, and of course the Eagle Nation Coaches Show on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. We can't wait to see you.
You're ready for the future?
And the future is full of possibilities.
Because your dream home
Is right around the corner.
If you're ready for the next step,
Or 2,
or 3,
we can help. At our bank, we're ready to help you open doors to your future.
our mortgage team is here and ready to begin your next step.
Doing the right things for the right reasons.
Welcome to our bank.
You belong here.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Many of us yearn for the glory of the field, to quarterback our team to victory, to catch the game-winning touchdown. But sadly, playing football is hard. What's not hard is getting a great deal on a Chevrolet from Don Hewlett. It's okay, fella. Everyone's a winner at Don Hewlett, but you still stink at football. Find new roads in Georgetown and at donhewlett.com. Don Hewlett, Texas True.
Now that's the sound of Eagle football. While the Eagles deliver on the field, EXTRACO delivers off the field. Whether it's opening up a small business, growing your business, retirement, or something simpler, we'll work with you to make it a reality. Let's build some dreams. To learn Now that's the sound of Eagle football. While the Eagles deliver on the field, EXTRACO delivers off the field. Whether it's opening up a small business, growing your business. Now that's the sound of Eagle football. While the Eagles deliver on the field, EXTRACO delivers supporter of Central Texas High School football. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based, nonprofit 501c3 Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addiction. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel. That light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a proud supporter of Central Texas. Now that's the sound of Eagle football. While the Eagles deliver on the field, EXTRACO delivers off. Now that's the sound of Eagle football. While the Eagles deliver on the field, EXTRACO delivers off the field. Whether it's opening up a small business, growing your business, retirement, or something simpler, we'll work with you to make it a reality. Let's build some dreams. To learn more, visit extracobanks.com. EXTRACO Banks is a member FDIC.
It is the start of the second half here on SHN Sports. I'm Carl Schoening along with Kelly Duvall, and the Georgetown Eagles with the lead 41-0. They get this second half started a couple minutes ahead of time, and we appreciate them for that. Cepeda will kick it off back deep to receive for the Eagles. Are Brandon Bradford and Nate Denny. It'll be taken by one of the up. Petter had to grab it, and then it goes out of bounds as he was hit. He lost it in the air for a minute, and now the Georgetown Eagles will start off here or at their own 19-yard line.
Little bit of a break there for the Eagles.
That could have very easily been picked up and starting inside the red zone for the Panthers. Instead, Petter just kind of got lucky, got a hand on it, and was able to knock it out of bounds.
Yeah, now we get 5 yards because the kick team was offside. So,
and there you go. They were trying to get something going there, yep. I take it. But I think they're going to make them re-kick it, and the Eagles will take that instead of the position because Nate Denny and Brandon Bradford are back there deep to receive.
Well, I assure you that ball will not go anywhere near Nate Denny.
If Zapata did his scouting report, I think you're right. 41-7, 2 seconds do come off of the clock. 11:58 left to play in the third quarter here as we start off the second half. Jose Zapata will line up 9 yards away for the charge. And he sends this one short after kicking from the 30. A fair catch called for, and then trotting forward a little bit better this time after making the catch is Petter. The Eagles will start at their own 33-yard line.
So Darson Herman's going to bring the offense back out, the 6'4", 220-pound junior who has some recruiting interest going. We'll bring the offense back out. We see if they keep this rolling on offense for the Eagles. Be nice to go down and score on this first series.
Both Nate Denny and Ryan Eady getting in the backfield with Darson Herman. 2 receivers on the right side, a single receiver on the left, and it's a give to Denny. Denny tries to turn the corner on the right side, and he stays free on the 40, the 35, the 45, and he's thrown out of bounds at the 48-yard line. And man, Nate Denny was wrapped up like twice there, and he still kept it going. Picks up the borrow from Morrow first down.
Makes something out of nothing there for Nate because he got a couple of people got hands on him and just couldn't bring him to the ground. It's incredible.
Edie in the backfield in the shotgun. It's Herman, 1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 48-yard line. And Petter goes in motion. Flag stop this play. I think that's a false start on Georgetown. And that will be a false start. That backs up the Eagles 5 yards.
So that's only 3 penalties total in this game. It's been a relatively clean game. Probably been a couple of things that could have been called, but
1st and 15. Eagles at their own 43-yard line now, and Herman will have a play action. Pump fakes to the left, looks across the middle, throws it across the middle. It's caught by Lachlan. He has it in stride across midfield at the 45, 40, 30, 20, 10. Looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles.
Nice play. I'm looking for flags on the field. I don't see any flags. What a great play, and there's so many weapons whenever this offense is clicking, and that was just a great throw, great run after the catch. Beautiful play for a touchdown.
Cade Lachlan picks up the reception, and let me do the quick math in my head, 57 yards from Darson Herman, and the Eagles don't even take a minute to get on the scoreboard in the second half. 47-7 your score. Eagles up by 40. Hope you didn't tune in late and miss that. Salceda ready for the point after attempt. Briggs McGee, the snapper. Cord Sparkman, the hold. And the kick is through the uprights and good. And Georgetown has a 48-7 lead. And man, that is how you start off a second half when you defer to get to the ball back to start off the second. And Cade Lachlan comes in right after a penalty, picks up all that penalty yards and all of the yards in front of him as well to get the touchdown. And, you know, I'd like to take a quick moment to say that both Briggs McGee and Rex Lee are great deep snappers. We're very fortunate to have them. They make Carson Salcedo's job a little bit easier, but you want to talk about Cade Lachlan.
Yeah, I do. 6'1", 175-pound senior. He is he's a great athlete. He's our punter as well, kick returner sometimes. And Cade's just a great athlete, and we've talked all through the season. He's one of those guys that he's not the neon sign athlete that everybody sees and knows, but he is so quietly effective for this Eagle offense and just a great athlete.
Cade Lachlan was the man who caught the first lateral and then flipped the second lateral to Ryan Eady.
Right.
And that the touchdown at the end of the first half.
We got to remember this is very similar to what happened last week. Came out with a big lead in the second half, scored on our first series, so now it's important for the defense to do something.
High and short kick by Salceda, played on a bounce by Fullman. He finds some space down the right hash mark, and then he is tackled by Adam O'Brien, and a solid return to the 32-yard line. That's where the Panthers will start their first drive of the second half.
And like I said, I was talking a little bit earlier, it is so important for this defense to get a stop here. And because last week, again, we had a big lead, come out in the second half, get the ball first, score a touchdown, think we can bring in our second team after that for the remainder of the game, but Leander made a comeback. So this is an important drive for this defense.
It was 35-7 last week at the half against Leander. Thomas will hand it off to Oakman, and Oakman stiff arms a couple defenders, but he's bottled up and gets maybe half a yard on the play as the Eagles bring him down, and you can take your pick of Eagles who brought him down on the tackle.
It would be much easier to tell you who didn't get a hand on him than it was who did, because I think the majority of people on defense got hands in on that play.
And one last point, going back to Georgetown versus Leander last week, the final score was 63-42, if I'm not mistaken. So, you bring that up, and the Eagles definitely are going to remember that as well here. 2 men in the backfield with Thomas, who came in relief for Rivas earlier. A quick pass out to the left, caught by Springs, tackled by Grasso, but I think Springs picked up the first down, and they will move the chains for the Panthers.
That was a lot of air under that throw, and if Bazell's got his head on a swivel, he may be able to pick that ball off, but he had his back to the quarterback, so he was able to get that ball in there.
Ball at the Panthers' own 42-yard line, 1st and 10 for Thomas. Thomas will have a designed quarterback run, follows Oakman, who gives him a good block across midfield to the 45, to the 41, man to beat at the 30. He's at the 20, and he is angled out of bounds at the 15. Saving the touchdown from the opposite side of the field is Aaron Bazell, and into the red zone go the Panthers on the designed quarterback run. Defensive backs got sucked in on the fake,
and there was no help once he got to that second level of that defense, and here it is. This is what we were talking about. The defense has to step up and stop this Pflugerville drive so we don't start having a repeat of what happened last week.
That was Jalen Reeves who actually came back into the quarterback position, and he takes the most out of his opportunity. 1st and 10, 9:47 left to play. It's a handoff to Oakman, and Oakman is dragged down from behind. Making the tackle is Bryson Hanks, and to the 9-yard line go the Panthers.
Well, big gain on first down really gives this Pflugerville offense some confidence, and the offensive line's making their blocks. These guys are going to have to tackle. That was the issue last week in the second half when we came out. So many missed tackles in that first quarter and a half of the second half last week.
2nd and 5, ball at the 9-yard line. It'll be Rivas running up the middle, and he didn't go anywhere according to the line judges, and that's no gain on the play. 3rd down coming up.
And this is going to be 4-down territory.
Oh, it has to be.
Yeah, down by 41 points.
And an injured Panther on the field. He hops right back up to into this. That was big man up front, number 57, Ashton Coley, the offensive line.
Got some scores from the area right now. Westwood is ahead of McNeil at the half, 21-14. Elgin and Bastrop are at the halftime with Elgin leading 17-3. Eastview Our neighbors across town are leading Connolly 35-6 at the half. The Hutto game was actually postponed tonight. The Round Rock Dragons are leading the Vandergrift Vipers 14-7. The Glen Grizzlies are ahead of Rouse right now, 21-14. And the Franklin High School Lions, number 6 in the state, are leading Natalia, and that has nothing to do with Central Texas football. It just has everything to do with, I'm just reading this list that Dave handed me.
3rd and 5 for the Panthers. They have it at their own 9-yard, or at the Eagles' 9-yard line. Fullman breaks a tackle, and he is brought down from behind by AYDEN Valencia, short of the yard to gain. And as you mentioned, 4-down territory, and that run there by Fullman makes it a little bit closer than it would have been had he been tackled where he had initial contact from the Eagle defense.
Boy, I tell you what, if I was Coach Griffin, I'd be thinking about taking a timeout right here and having a little church session over there on the sideline, remind these guys about last week. But this big 4th down,
they can get the turnover on downs here as the instructions come to the Panthers from their sideline. Rivas has Oakman to his right, and I'd bet you that Oakman gets the handoff here, but it'll be Rivas keeping it. He goes around his right side into the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers. Oakman draws attention there, and I think that leaves that open for Rivas to find his lane to the end zone.
Unable to contain on that edge, and that's exactly what Leander did to us last week, start running on that outside. A little over pursuit there by the linebackers, going a little too deep into that. Of course, when Oakman's back there, you're worried about him taking that ball.
Yeah, I thought I saw a little bit of assignment football there as Zepeda kicks it through the uprights end good. A little bit of assignment football there. It looked like Hunter Springer was trying to follow Oakman, but instead it was Rivas who took it. And we will go ahead and take a break here on SHN Sports. Back in a moment.
Now that's the sound of Eagle football. While the Eagles deliver on the field, Extraco delivers off the field. Whether it's opening up a small business, growing your business, retirement, or something simpler, we'll work with you to make it a reality. Let's build some dreams. To learn more, visit extracobanks.com. Extraco Banks is a member FDIC.
Big thanks to all of our sponsors. We'll get through them, but Extraco Banks, let's build some dreams. Grand Endeavor Homes, luxury custom homes in the Austin and San Antonio areas, and Don Hewlett family of dealerships, Texas True. Jose Zapata will kick off the ensuing kickoff following the 9-yard touchdown run from Rivas to put the Panthers in double figures this evening. At 48-14, it'll be a return here for Brandon Bradford. He's trying to bounce out to the left side, but he is stopped short of the 20 by a slew of Panthers. And Eagles look like they'll have their worst starting field position tonight after scoring a 57-yard touchdown by Cade Lachlan on the previous drive.
Yeah, it's funny because I was watching Coach Pat on the sideline over there, defensive coach, and anybody that's been around the Georgetown program knows Coach Pat, and he was over there doing his angry Obi-Wan Kenobi on the sidelines, making sure that some folks got their minds and their hearts right over there on that defense. So it'll be interesting to see what they do on the next possession by Pflugerville, but let's put some yards on the board right here with that running game.
Court Sparkman in the shotgun for the Eagles for his first series this evening. He has Edie to his right, and he hands it off to Edie, who runs up the middle. He is brought down from behind by Josh Kruger, only a gain of 2 yards to the 20-yard line. Sparkman has 5 wide here as the Eagles want a tempo on 2nd and 8 with 7:30 left to play in the third quarter. Sparkman, quick looks to the left, and it's caught by Trussell. Trussell at the 25 was wrapped up and doesn't go anywhere. Cleaning up that play after the catch was Armand Fullman, who is playing both ways now, and it'll be 3rd down for the Eagles.
Big Devin Ross coming into the backfield. Him and Edie are going to be in the backfield in this set. Devin Ross is the 6'3", 205-pound junior.
Sparkman in the pistol. Behind him is Ross, and it's a fake on the quarterback keeper on the zone read. Sparkman tried to go around right end. He is stood up at the line of scrimmage. They might have even marked him back a yard, and flag comes in on the play, and we'll see what this is about. Early indication from our spotter / producer up here, David England, is a face mask. And great set of eyes from, and now David's saying you saw it, Kelly. I didn't see you. We have David here between us, so you think that was a face mask, and you got a good pair of eyes on you, and that helps the Eagles keep this drive alive.
Yeah, he tried to decapitate poor Sparkman, and there's no point for the headless horseman. Halloween's over, so Sparkman kept his head about him.
Clock keeps moving, 6:43 left to play in the third quarter, and it's a play-action bootleg to the right for Sparkman. He throws on the run and just overthrows, half a stride away from catching it, Jacob Trussell. And that stops the clock at 6:36, and it's rare to see that clock stop this evening.
Yeah, there hadn't been a lot of stoppage of the clock out there. I think Cord was thinking about throwing to Grant Tickner, who was open, just not as deep.
Pistol formation here for Sparkman. He has Ross behind him. It's a give to Ross. He finds a hole on the left side of the line and breaks free across the 45-40. Nobody in front of him at the 30, the 20, 10, end zone, touchdown, Eagles.
Nice. Nice. We got a lot of second teamers in there. We just scored on a, 63, 64-yard run?
59-yard run, if I saw it correctly.
Another tick mark over here on the sheet, but that's a touchdown.
57 yards on the last one, 59 yards on this one, and the Eagles pull ahead 54-14 before the point after by Carson Salceda. And this one is blocked and will be picked up by one of the Panthers, Tony Bailey, and Bailey gets across midfield, and he will be brought down from behind, and the play is whistled dead at the 31-yard line. I saw that all the way. Armand Fullman actually jumped offside. Flags come in after the play. We'll see what this is about, and there is an injured Panther on the field.
So they wanted a horse collar. I think there was a horse collar.
I think there was too.
The referees were blocked from it, and I think this is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct on Pflugerville.
And the returner who recovered the blocked kick, Tony Bailey, is the man down here. So we're going to step aside and take a quick break here on SHN.
Coaches are pulling.
Where?
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a proud supporter of Central Texas high school football. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based, nonprofit 501c3 Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addiction. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel. That light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, please visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Hey y'all, this is Michelle with Schlotzsky's. I've been here since 1997 when we opened our doors right here in Georgetown. As a lifelong resident that is dedicated to this community, I am passionate about our customers here in Georgetown. At Schlotzsky's, we make our buns fresh from scratch. We fuse aged traditions with chef creations. Our employees have over 60 years combined experience in crafting the most savory sandwiches. Satisfy your hunger with the 13 ingredients that make up the famous original sandwich. Schlotzsky's, lots better.
So we had a result of the play as I was finishing up the break there. Did y'all happen to catch what the official said?
So the guy that blocked the kick was offsides, and I was starting to say something after the play was done, but then the flags flew. He was offsides, blocked the kick. On the return, after the play, there was an unsportsmanlike conduct. So they'll mark this half the distance to the goal. and Georgetown gets another shot at this kick, I'd go for 2, and they are. Yep, they're going to go for 2.
Definitely far from the result that Charles Taylor wanted on the play here. Carson Salceda will line up the point after attempt. He's given the whistle to go ahead here on the re-kick. The kick is through the uprights and good, and the Eagles now lead it 55-14, 6:25 left to play in the third quarter. And you know, a lot of credit should go to the Eagles, who took this team seriously from the gun.
They did. And unlike last week, Georgetown scored on the first – last week they scored on the first series, then Leander scored, and then Georgetown went a couple of series before they scored again and gave Leander some life. But Georgetown answers this score, Pflugerville's first score in the second half, with a touchdown. So they move that lead back to whatever the math is, 41 points. Now the defense, this is where Coach Pats puts on the robes and the
Jedi mind tricks.
The Jedi mind tricks start.
All that stuff.
And if that doesn't work, bust out the lightsaber and cut somebody's arm off.
Now's a good time to get to our sponsors. Our bank, you're more than a customer. You are part of our family. Thank you for banking on us. Oak Ridge Disciple House, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. That light can be found through Oak Ridge. Smoothie King at Wolf Ranch, our Red Zone sponsor, blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Borrow from Morrow, our first down sponsor. Our family, your future, our focus. Visit borrowfrommorrow.com. Schlotzsky's, serving Georgetown since 1997. We haul buns. And Ideal Signs, custom signage for all of your business needs. And don't forget, every Wednesday, but not this upcoming Wednesday because it's a bye week, we are at George's on the Town for the Coach Griffin Eagle Nation Coaches Show. Salceda sends the kickoff on the ensuing point after, and it'll be Ilkoa who returns it to the 25-yard line. That's where the Panthers will start this drive, trailing 55-14. 6:19 left to play in the third quarter.
Nice tackle, open field tackle there. I think that was Grant Long on the tackle, but did a great job of bringing the runner down just in the open field. Good tackling.
The huddle breaks, and you know, we've seen a lot of concentrated huddles here by the Panthers in the last few minutes. And coming back out onto the field, Jalen Reeves, the quarterback, leads the Panthers back out. 1st and 10, and it's a give to Oakman. He tries to stretch to the right side, stiff arms the defender, but then trips up after the tackle made by Adam O'Brien, and call it only a gain of 5. And if O'Brien's not there, it's a lot more.
Yeah, good tackle, and Oakman came down kind of awkward looking, little bounce there at the end off of his knees. I'm glad he wasn't hurt. This is an important drive for the defense for the remainder of this season to push forward, to put 2 complete halves together. Defense needs to step up here.
Reeves will have the option play to the left side. He's bottled up. He's going to try and bounce it outside, and that's not a smart decision. He is tackled by Trent McConnell for a tackle for loss behind the initial line of scrimmage, and he's hearing it from the coaches on a congratulations.
That's everybody taking care of their assignments, doing exactly what they should do, because he didn't have any place to pitch that ball. He had the option out there, and there was no place to go with the football.
3rd and 13 now. That was a loss of 8 yards. 5:04 left to play in the third quarter. And yeah, it's been all Eagles so far. We're happy you're tuning in, but you've missed quite the show. And we have the DVR on if you want to rewind earlier in the game. And this will be a timeout called by Charles Taylor as they find themselves in an obvious passing situation where they need to pick up 13 yards to pretty much have any chance of keeping this game rolling here. They need to score on this drive.
This is a big series for Pflugerville. And not only for this week, but going forward too, because they've got the gauntlet coming up. Like we said at the beginning of the game, I think Georgetown's the toughest competition they've faced this year so far to this point. And they've still got Hendrickson. They've still got Cedar Park. So they'll play Cedar Park, I think, next week. and then Hendrickson the week after that. So those are the other top teams in the district. It's important for them to not quit right now.
Well, that intra-Pflugerville ISD matchup next week against Hendrickson will be really big, determining the third place matchup here, as the Eagles look like they'll get a vice grip on the second spot in the district. And obviously running away with it are the Cedar Park Timberwolves, and a quick pass out to the right side is broken up by Hunter Springer, and that will bring up fourth down. And what a heads-up play by Springer. That's assignment football.
It is assignment football, and he took care of what he was supposed to take care of. There's going to be the temptation there to try to get the interception, and you couldn't blame him if he did, but he did a good job of knocking the ball carrier away from being able to catch the ball, and now it looks like Pflugerville's going to line up and punt football. I wouldn't trust that completely, but
being unfair, are the Eagles putting Denny out there still?
Well, you know, dance with who brung you.
David England over here excited about a possible return. Zapata will have to jump to take this snap, and it looks like Denny will have to play it on a bounce, and it takes an Eagles bounce the other way. It'll be down at the Panthers 45-yard line, and starting off in plus territory are the Georgetown Eagles.
Well, it looks like the second teamers are coming back on the field, coming onto the field. So we're going to have to wait a week. Nate was needing just over 200 yards today to get to that 1,000-yard mark, but maybe we'll get it against Weiss. You got to keep these guys healthy.
Absolutely. Cord Sparkman comes back out on the field. Joining him in the backfield, Ryan Eady to his left, Devin Ross behind him. And I beg your pardon, that is not Ryan Eady. That is Brandon Albrecht. And here is Cord Sparkman trying to take it around left end himself. He gets across the 40, gets a little extra push close to the 35-yard line. Pickup of 9. Quarterback does it with his feet.
When your second team is in there and you're not losing a whole lot, if anything, you're in pretty good shape. Because Cord Sparkman's senior, but Cord's a talented quarterback.
Albrecht cleared out of the backfield. A quick throw out to him, and he gets the first down, a little bit more. That's a borrow from Morrow first down to the 33-yard line of the Panthers, and the chains move, stopping the clock at 4:03.
That's a name we haven't called much, if at all, this year, and I think I heard his mom cheering on that crowd mic over there.
Trips left, single receiver to the right. Ross moves over to the left of Sparkman on 1st and 10 from the Panthers' 33-yard line. A quick pass over to the left side, and it's incomplete. It was intended for Tyler Griffin, and that stops the clock at 3:48 in the third quarter.
Yeah, this is how much we've called Albrecht's name this year. He's not even the number 29 we have listed on our starting lineup, or in our starters.
Oh, and I'm just being informed by David England that number 17, Tyler Griffin, is Coach Griffin's son. So there you go. Something you hear now as Ross empties out of the backfield. Sparkman will drop back. He's under pressure, and he throws it across the middle. It's completed to Griffin, and Griffin picks up 9 yards on second down, just short of the first down. And you get him on a slant route, and he makes the catch that time.
Yeah, Tyler is Coach Griffin's son, and after that drop, you better make up for it, because the 5'9", 220-pound senior is going to go home and get an earful from Dad. So Tyler making a catch in there, and it's nice to see.
2nd and 1, Trips left, and Sparkman will keep it on the fake handoff to Ross. He picks up the first down across the 20, and the Eagles get into the Smoothie King red zone. Forward progress marked at the 17-yard line as Sparkman stayed on his feet.
That's what I was talking about a little earlier. We talk all the time about how good of a runner Darson Herman is, but Cord Sparkman is a very good athlete, strong runner, and you're not losing a lot whenever Cord comes in. And that's got to be comforting for the coaches to know going into the playoffs.
Clock picks back up, under 3 minutes to play in the third after the borrow from Morrow first down. Sparkman in the shotgun sends Griffin in motion, and whistles blow this play dead. False start backs up the Eagles 5 yards.
Prior to the season, we were talking to Coach about the quarterback setting and situation, and he just started glowing when he talked about Cord, how smart he is in the quarterback room. Cord is the one who is the leader in that quarterback room, and he said he's basically a coach on the field when he's out there. He has been out there some in different settings than this. Pistol formations, he's been put out as a receiver, and he's a talented athlete.
Sparkman in the pistol on 1st and 15. Griffin goes in motion left to right. It's a handoff to Ross. Ross gets through the trenches, stays on his feet across the 15-yard line, and he is dropped at the 14. And Devin Ross does a nice job showing his power run game.
Technically your third running back, but Devin Ross could start for a lot of teams around here that we have played against and seen in and out of the district. 6'3", 205, and we'll get him back next year. He's a junior.
Albright cleared out of the backfield. Dropping back is Sparkman on one step. Lobs it to the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. Coming down with it is Jacob Trussell.
One of the most difficult passes to throw is that touch pass in the end zone right there, and he put it right on the money. Oh, what a pass, Cord Sparkman.
Before the point after attempt, Eagles go up 61-14 with 1:51 left to play in the third quarter. Salcedo still out there doing the honors. The kick is through the uprights and good, and it's 62-14. All Georgetown this evening at the field at Pflugerville ISD. I'm Carl Schoening along with Kelly Duvall, David England helping us out, Tara McConnell out on the camera, and man, you know, it's fun when you're just rolling right along like this.
Yes it is. And there are some people probably asking, why is Georgetown throwing the football up at this level? Georgetown's getting ready for the playoffs, and you've got a quarterback in there that very well could be called on if this playoff run goes deep. God forbid somebody get injured, and he's trying to get these guys prepared. Cord hadn't thrown a lot of passes this year, so this is some quality playing time for him. Most of the runs, most of the plays on that series were running plays, and you're in the third quarter. You got to keep playing football.
You wonder if at this point there's that quiet agreement to just keep the clock running whenever the opportunity comes up. You see that every now and again in these games, as there's no need for the point differential to get any larger. Salcedo will kick this off as the Eagles split two out wide pretty quickly. And they're ready to line this one up. Salcedo with the powerful leg will only take a 1.5 yard charge. And he still gets it to the man back deep waiting. And being wrapped up and then being brought down at the 15-yard line for the Panthers. First touch this evening for Vonzie Young, and the freshman didn't quite know what to do with that. They mark his forward progress at the 21-yard line, but he was under pressure by the Eagles pretty quickly.
Yeah, he had to escape several people and then wound up getting slung to the ground. I believe it was Cole Petter who made the tackle.
Minute 43 left to play in the third. Yeah, Hunter Springer was in on that tackle, and staying out there is Rivas, and the handoff to Oakman will pick up 7 yards on first down.
Well, and this is the start you wanted. You might not want that touchdown on the board, but you've answered everything Pflugerville has thrown at you plus, which is exactly what the coaches were wanting to see, a complete game. And now you've got second-teamers in there, some third-teamers in there, and now you get some guys, some quality snaps in the game situation on a Friday night, which is so much different than practice.
Rivas will have a designed quarterback run following his block from Oakman, able to shake that block and then get the tackle is Hunter Springer, and Rivas helped up after the play and by Bryson Hanks, and it'll make it 3rd and 1 as they stop him just short of the yard to gain.
Now the goal is you get some guys that aren't starters, some quality plays, and you get out of here healthy. And that's the goal now.
Still a little bit of difference between the play clock and the game clock. 33 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Rivas will hand it off to Oakman, who gets the yard to gain after being brought down on the tackle by Aiden Aldaco. And that moves the chains, stops the clock at 22 seconds left to play in the third quarter.
We said at the beginning of the game that Georgetown was going to try to make Pflugerville beat them throwing the football, and they haven't had a lot of success throwing the football, so they're sticking with that running game. And now Pflugerville wants to get out of here healthy as well.
Yeah, they still have to, their season isn't over tonight. No. So, yep, the clock will hit 0 here in the third quarter, and we head into the Extraco Banks fourth quarter here on SHN Sports. 62-14 your score after 3 complete. I'm Carl Schoening along with Kelly Duvall, and man, Kelly, this is probably, I think, the game the Eagles needed. I was a little surprised that David England last week said that he wasn't as worried about Pflugerville despite the 1 loss on the schedule. And, that wasn't obviously the Eagles' approach, but they came out, took them seriously, and thus we have a 62-14 score going into the fourth.
And Pflugerville has the unfortunate scheduling thrown at them this year, which the schedule's changed radically with the COVID stuff going on, but they had just absolutely murderer's row last 3 games. Because Dave Campbell's, all the prognosticators had in no particular order. Of course, Cedar Park at the top, but Georgetown, Hendrickson, and then the real fight was for that 4th playoff spot, and it's kind of manifested itself. And they've got the last 3 games are the top 3 teams in the district.
Start of the Extraco Banks fourth quarter. It's 1st and 10 for the Panthers. They have it at their own 34-yard line. It's a designed run for Rivas, and Rivas is brought down by a combination of Hanks and Valencia just shy of the 40 for a gain of 4 yards.
A couple of starters still in there, but you're seeing a lot of numbers that we haven't typically seen and rotating some guys in. Again, trying to keep everybody healthy, get some guys some quality game time snaps, and move on to the bye week, the week of Thanksgiving.
And that'll be a fun bye week. You get to eat all you want and then move on here as Rivas will hand it off to Oakman. Oakman makes one defender miss, gets across the 45. He picks up the first down for the Panthers, and I think they stop the clock. They do at 11:16, just shy of midfield. The Panthers get a new set of downs.
Aiden Valencia, the first one in there, but then Will Calfalon, I hope I was saying it, Calfayon, and I think Caden Wolf came in to finish off that play.
Here's a quick pass from Rivas out to the left side. It's caught in the Eagle territory, and completion for Patrick Onyia, and that's just shy of the first down.
It's good to see Caden out there. I talked to his dad, and he had some struggles with illness, and finally has gotten back on the field and healthy again. So it's good to see Caden out there, number 12 for the Eagles.
Rivas will hand it off to the new back in the field who gets the first down a little bit more, and I believe getting his first carry this evening is Matthew Tyron Jr., a freshman first-year sophomore on the team, and an opportunity for the Panthers to go ahead and see what they got in some of their young guys as well.
It's a nice little run. He carried a couple of guys with him up the field a little ways. Good, strong run. He's not all that tall, but built like a fire plug.
1st and 10 at the Eagles' 32-yard line. Rivas will hand it off to Tyron, and Tyron is pushed outside to the 30-yard line. They might even give him the 29. That's a very generous spot, and it will only be a pickup of about 3 yards either way, and that stops the clock at 10:16 as he runs out of bounds.
Well, again, it's one of those learning circumstances for these guys, and the coaches are going to emphasize the very basics: tackling, assignment football, beating the guy that's on your nose.
Oakman gets the handoff. He tries to go around right end, but he is brought down, and big old A.J. Bradshaw read that play perfectly and gets the tackle for a loss.
Nice job out there by the defense of swallowing that up before it has any chance to do anything on the edge.
3rd and 14, under 10 minutes to play in the Extraco Banks 4th quarter. And the Panthers, with 20 seconds left on the play clock, still trying to figure out what their next play is.
A.J. Bradshaw is a junior coming back next year, 6'1", 210-pound linebacker. He's going to be fun to watch as he progresses because we've been calling his name quite a bunch this season.
Reeves will make a quick throw out to the right side. It's completed at the initial line of scrimmage, as that one was caught by Christian Valdez, the junior receiver, making his first reception of the night. Picks up 7 yards to the 30-yard line.
Eric Espinoza in there on the tackle, got shaken up just a little bit. I think he's going to be all right, maybe a little stinger on there, but Eric did a good job coming up and making a good, sure, strong tackle right off the bat to keep that from going anywhere else and bringing up 4th down.
Panthers going to go for it on 4th down, under 9 minutes to play in the Extraco Banks 4th quarter. 4th and 8. Reeves has Oakman to his left. Reeves will drop back, throws across the middle. It's completed to Oakman, who caught it out of the backfield, and Oakman will get in for the touchdown. 30-yard touchdown from Reeves to Oakman, and the Panthers score the first touchdown of the 4th quarter.
That much of the running game that we've been seeing out of Pflugerville, you see those safeties inching up, getting closer and closer, and then that, when you buy the fake in that circumstance, there's no safety help back there, and Oakman was able to score.
On 4th and 8, Oakman just finds a space where the defense isn't, and then he finishes off the run. Trotting in here for the point after attempt for Zepeda is an outside blocker. Now Zepeda gets the hold. It is good for the extra point. And the Panthers narrow this gap just a little bit, but the Eagles still comfortably ahead, 62-21. We'll be back in a moment on SHN Sports.
Now that's the sound of Eagle football. While the Eagles deliver on the field, Extraco delivers off the field. Whether it's opening up a small business, growing your business, retirement, or something simpler, we'll work with you to make it a reality. Let's build some dreams. To learn more, visit extracobanks.com. Extraco Banks is a member FDIC.
So we want to say hello to Hunter Springer's, let's see, maybe aunt or uncle, but watching from Black Forest, Colorado. So we got a lot of folks watching, and we appreciate all of you watching, but every once in a while we get somebody that's watching that we want to mention, and we appreciate you guys checking in from Black Forest, Colorado.
That's a very Texan way to say Colorado.
Well, how else would I say it? IR1.
I'm doing some NCAA basketball this week, and do you know how they say Nevada? It's Nevada, not Nevada, Nevada.
Well, they're saying it wrong.
Right? Well, that's what the Nevadans say.
Well, they need to learn how to call their own state.
We have a timeout on the field. We'll keep the witty banter going up here in the press box.
I got jokes.
Yeah. Well, I'll be in my home in San Marcos broadcasting a game happening at the University of Nebraska where there are no fans. So it'll be the most 2020 broadcast I've ever done. They're not allowing any fans at this tournament that Nebraska's hosting. So, just kind of what you have to deal with these days. We're very fortunate that they allow the fans in the stands right now.
Well, interesting side note, people from Nebraska call it Nebraska.
I'm sure they do.
Sorry, I just saw an opening.
LSU will also be in that tournament. I'll be broadcasting on Flow Sports. It won't be here on SHN Sports, but I think the Eagles are ready for an onside kick here from Zapata, as every kickoff in the second half was a onside kick, and back deep to receive was Cade Lachlan. He just lets it go over his head into the end zone for a touchback, and the Eagles will start at the 30-yard line.
Well, this is what you want to see out of Georgetown. You know, Pflugerville's put 2 touchdowns on the board. One of them against 2 touchdowns on the board in the second half. One of them against some guys who don't normally get a lot of playing time. And that's learning moments for those guys. There's a lot of juniors out on the field playing that haven't got to play a lot this year. And this is an opportunity for them to get a little bit of playing time.
Sparkman in the shotgun. Play action with Ross in the backfield. A little throw out to the right side. It's caught, and getting to the 25-yard line and picking up 1 more yard for the Eagles is Ethan Tarosin. I believe I'm saying that right. First time we're saying his name.
I think so. Want to say hi to Jack Ward, friend of SHN, watches almost every one of our broadcasts. Appreciate you checking in, Jack.
And flags come in. I think this will be on somebody in the front line for either team. Let's see what this is. Offside, so jumping off was the left side of the defensive line, and that gives the Eagles 5 yards.
Got some second responders out there going somewhere. Fire trucks running all over the place. Kitty litter at the ready. I'm picking on Doppler Dave, our firefighter buddy in the booth with us.
3rd and 4 for Sparkman. He hands it off to Ross. Ross cuts it back up the middle, and he gets the yard to gain. It's a borrow from Morrow, first down to the 35.5-yard line.
So what we need these guys who aren't normally starters to do is make some more borrow from Morrow first downs, drive down to the Smoothie King red zone, and then score.
Exactly. And then we'll give you the Eagle Booster Club drive recap. This one started at the 25-yard line on the touchback. Sparkman clears Albright out of the backfield. Low snap taken by Sparkman. He's under pressure. He tried to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he'll be brought down for a loss of 1 on forward progress at the 35-yard line.
If anybody thinks Pflugerville has quit, all they got to do is talk to Cord Sparkman, because he just got nailed pretty good.
A lot of these guys getting their final 7 minutes and 10 seconds of play this evening on the defensive side, and we haven't seen Sparkman pass too much considering the score, but we might actually see him throw something down the field a little bit here on 2nd and 10.
I'm betting there's going to be a big 3-and-2 get this ball.
Nope. It'll be a designed quarterback draw, and he'll get outside the 40 and be brought down from behind and gets to the 41-yard line. So Sparkman picks up 6 yards before he is brought down on the play by the man who is not on our Pflugerville roster.
Seems like we have that. He who shall remain nameless just about every game. I know we had it against Anderson. We had a kid that wasn't on the roster, and he played most of the game.
Well, JV call-ups probably at this point, and I don't see a 41 on my Pflugerville roster, so that's how it goes. And whistles blow this play dead. False start will back up the Eagles 5 yards. So that quarterback draw by Sparkman pretty much negated by the false start, and it'll be a passing down here. And yeah, you got the binoculars on, and there's a lot of sirens happening on the south side of the field in the parking lot where there's a major road. Hopefully everybody's okay.
Yeah, I hope so. Folks, I'm joking about that second responder deal. David England is a firefighter with the city of Georgetown and love him to death.
Sparkman will pass on 3rd and 9 deep down the left sideline and just misses his intended target. Running that route for the Eagles was Alex Brent, and the Eagles come out to punt.
I think Alex lost the ball. He is the son of the Georgetown ISD Superintendent Fred Brent, Dr. Fred Brent.
He was our halftime interview last week.
He was.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
He was. And if you ever see him face to face, ask him about appetizer gumbo.
Will do.
It's an inside joke.
This is the first punt of the evening for the Eagles at 5:52 left to play in the fourth quarter, the Extraco Banks fourth quarter, and this one goes off the side of the foot and goes out of bounds at midfield. They'll go ahead and round up to 50, and that's where the Panthers will start with 5:44 left to play in the Extraco Banks fourth quarter.
Coaches are laughing at him for that punt.
Man, 5:44 left to play, and it'll be cutting it close, but David England might have pulled a Nostradamus today and said, I believe on the pregame, that this could be a 9:30 end of the game here, as it'll be Tyron who gets the first handoff, and he picks up a first down across midfield to the 37-yard line, and that moves the chains for the Eagles. Or excuse me, for the Panthers.
And it keeps the clock running. Get home at a reasonable hour. Be all right.
I have the 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A state championship for volleyball up in Garland, Texas tomorrow. It starts at 10 a.m. I'm going to be leaving at around 4:30 a.m. So that is okay by me here as Tyron goes up the middle, and he gets stopped at the 35-yard line. Flags come in after the play. The officials saw something from the backfield, and I think it'll go against the Eagles.
When I wake up in the morning around, I don't know, 10:15, I'll say a prayer for your safe travel.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll already be there, I believe. It's a face mask. And I believe it's going against the Eagles afterwards, so go ahead and mark off the penalty yardage, and that moves the ball to the 20-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers, 5:07 left to play in the Extraco Banks fourth quarter.
Matthew Tryon, the sophomore running back that's in there right now, got his helmet knocked off or pulled off or something. His teammates calming him down because he was not pleased.
And he's had an impressive fourth quarter here.
Yeah, he has. He's a good, strong runner. He's going to be a good player for Pflugerville.
Rivas has hit as he throws, and he sends it over to the left side, intended for their big wide receiver, Colton Williams. And the sophomore receiver out there, pretty solid size, couldn't quite turn around and catch it.
My goodness, he got belted, so they're bringing in another quarterback. He got a shoulder pad right in the old guts, and that hurt. I didn't see who hit him.
Desmond Thomas will come in to relieve Rivas, and that might be the end that we see of Rivas tonight, as there's 4:42 left to play in the fourth quarter. Rivas will leave the game, and then Tyron here gets the handoff, and he gets to the 16-yard line, picks up 4 yards, and keeps the clock moving at 4:30 left to play in the fourth quarter.
Oh, man, I hope that kid's okay. I think he is. He just probably got the wind knocked out of him, but he got absolutely hammered. Tryon, the kid that carried the ball on that play, is fast. Pflugerville's got some young talent.
You know, it's funny. You think about all these schools that used to be powerhouses, and then as soon as they opened up a couple more schools, they lose some of that talent. And bringing him down in the backfield for the sack is A.J. Bradshaw, as it was a drop back for Thomas, and Bradshaw pretty much went unblocked into the backfield.
Yeah, A.J. went back there without anybody laying a hand on him, and that was a nice tackle, wrapping him up, bringing him down. 4th down for Pflugerville.
62-21 your score, and Pflugerville on 4th and 10, trying to probably find a pass play here. Thomas gets his instructions from the sideline, 2 men in the backfield with him. One-step drop, he throws across the middle into the end zone, touchdown Panthers. A nice catch made by Christian Valdez, his 2nd of the evening, and that's a 16-yard touchdown pass from the backup Desmond Thomas, and on 4th down. That's the second score on 4th down. So, they have no quit in them. You can give the Panthers that. Even though the game is well out of hand, they go for it on 4th down, and they've scored on 4th down twice this evening. Zapata gets the point after attempt blocked, I believe, and that will be no good. And there is a flag here for offsides as the Eagles jumped really early, and we'll do a re-kick or perhaps even go for a 2-point conversion.
I would imagine they'll just kick it.
Zapata will line up for another kick here. 62-27, trying to get the point after the offsides by the Eagles, and this one is good for Zapata. And 62-28 your score. Eagles lead the Panthers. 3:11 left until this one is official, and we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors, Extraco Banks. Let's build some dreams. And there's an injured Panther on the field. Hopefully he is okay. Grand Endeavor Homes, luxury custom homes in the Austin and San Antonio areas. Don Hewitt family of dealerships, Texas True. Our bank, you are more than a customer, you are part of our family. Thank you for banking on us. Oak Ridge Disciple House, there's light at the end of the tunnel. That light can be found through Oak Ridge. Smoothie King at Wolf Ranch, blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Borrow from Morrow, our family, your future, our focus. Visit borrowfrommorrow.com. Schlotzky's, serving Georgetown since 1997. We haul buns. Ideal Signs, custom signage for all your business needs. And, of course, George is on the town, who hosts the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. We will be continuing that into the playoffs. So every Wednesday before a playoff game, you can come out to George's on the town, 6 p.m. We'll keep that rolling. And, unfortunately, the injured Panther has to be helped off the field. Hopefully that young man is okay. 62-28, your score here is, I imagine it will probably be run the rest of the game, no matter who has possession.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's probably just between the tackles the whole way.
So now we have a battle of Hunter Springer's family.
Are they telling me Nevada's not right?
Well, there's another aunt who's watching from Round Rock.
Oh, okay.
So we've got a family reunion going on
in the comment section of our channel.
Absolutely. So apparently it's Uncle Michael in Black Forest, Colorado. And hang on, I gotta put my old man glasses on.
It's all good. Lachlan and
Sheena
Bradford
Springer
just let that go for a
Fleener.
touchback.
Aunt Sheena in Round Rock.
Cool.
So,
that's not too far away
that's
from
right around the
Pflugerville.
corner.
It is a touchback, so the Eagles will start this one at the 25-yard line.
There is a sharpened tear on here saying this game is normally cold and rainy, because the last time we were here against Pflugerville, it was cold and it was rainy, and I mean, it was 72 degrees for me, but David was on the field and he was cold.
Here we are, November 20th, and yeah, it's been pretty warm this year, and I don't think we've had that many ice overs. We used to have ice overs like 2-3 times a year when I was younger, and now it's like maybe once every few years. So just kind of things that happen. 1st and 10 for the Eagles, back to the game. 3:11 left to play in the Extraco Banks 4th quarter. If my binoculars were focused, I can tell you who the new quarterback is for the Eagles. And the Eagles will be called for an illegal substitution, which allows me to see the back of big old number 13, big old number 19, Levy Thorpe's jersey. Levi, thank you for helping me out there. Levi Thorpe has actually been in a couple snaps this season. Thorpe will move Ross to his right. And he drops the snap, and then he's immediately hit, but he got the ball back after being tackled on the play by Tyler Snowberger. That's the first time I've heard that name, and he gets the tackle for a loss of 7 yards. And Eagles have a 2nd and 17 with 2:50 left to play in the fourth quarter.
I don't think Levi's taken many, if any, snaps this year at quarterback position, so.
Thorpe will hand it off to an end around, and trying to find some space across the 15 to the 20, staying on his feet and then being thrown out of bounds is the man on the end around, Alex Brent, and picks up yards to the 22-yard line, keeps that clock moving despite being thrown out of bounds.
Throw Alex's picture up there on the screen for Mom and Dad. Getting him a little PT out there, a little playing time. Good run by Alex, the 6'1", 165-pound senior.
Thorpe relays his instructions to the sideline. 9 seconds left on the play clock. Thorpe will hand it off to Ross. Ross tries to bounce it outside to the right, and he is wrapped up short of the 25-yard line. They'll give him the 25. It looks like, no, I beg your pardon. It stops him at the 24, and that keeps the clock moving. 1:35 left to play in the Extraco Banks fourth quarter, but the Eagles will have to punt it away, and the Panthers will get at least one more chance here to get a couple offensive plays in, if nothing else.
That would be a world record hang time if this clock could run out on this punt. That'd be awesome.
It would be very impressive, that's for sure.
It would make the news.
Woo. It's a punt going to the right side, and a fair catch called for and made by Christian Valdez. The Georgetown coaches to our left getting ready to get moving, and we're not too far behind them. 1:06 left to play in the Extraco Banks fourth quarter. 62-28 your score, and Pflugerville will at least get maybe a couple more snaps off before this ball game is over.
Cade Lachlan did a good job of snagging that snap. It was just about over his head, so he did a good job of keeping that from turning into points for Pflugerville.
And keeping an eye on his clock for his prediction is David England. He has 3 minutes to get this 1:06 left, and that would be impressive if he did. And it's a handoff to Tyron. He is tripped up and still picks up 5 yards, and just a powerful runner. We're going to be seeing him in a Panthers uniform against these Eagles for at least another year, depending on what happens on realignment after next season.
Right.
He's only a sophomore. He'll be a junior next year, and I could see him getting some time. The starting running back, Elijah Oakman, also only a junior. Play action. Thomas will sling it down the field and just misses. If he had a little bit more air on it, Ania will be the intended receiver. It stops the clock at 28 seconds left to play here in the fourth quarter.
I'd plant a safety on that mark that they used for the extra points down about the 3-yard line in between the hash marks. You'll plant somebody back there.
Just prevent defense.
Yeah, hey, sophomore, go there.
The secondary is playing pretty deep at the moment. Safety's back at the 40 here, as it'll be a handoff to Tyron, and Tyron tripped up after getting past the trenches and picks up the first down, stops the clock at 22 seconds left to play in the Extraco Banks fourth quarter, and they pick it up before the chain gang gets set again, and the play clock turned off here, and maybe one more play for the Panthers should they elect to take it. 12 seconds left. They don't seem too interested in getting anything off, and I believe we've seen the final snap of this football game. Georgetown wins it convincingly and in a dominating fashion. Your final score from the field: the Eagles 62, the Panthers 28. I'm Carl Schoen, and Kelly Duvall's here, and guess what, David England? It's 9:29. You guessed right on your prediction this morning at 9:30 a.m., around 12 hours ago. The Eagles pick up the victory. They improve to 7-1 overall. The Panthers fall to 5-2 overall, and I think the Eagles have a clear lane to the 2 seed here in the District 11's 5A playoff opportunity.
Yeah, it's a big win for the Eagles. And hats off to these Pflugerville kids. They didn't quit. They kept playing hard all the way to the end. They could have quit, but hats off to them. They got some young talent, and they're going to be a better football team next year. But they still got some work to do. They still got a shot at the playoffs. But our Eagles have locked up a playoff spot. We are going to the second season. We just hope and pray everybody is safe and COVID-free and we get to continue playing football. But thanks to all you guys watching on YouTube. We greatly appreciate you. And so many of you who are watching on YouTube support our broadcast regularly, and we thank you for that.
Any final thoughts before we wrap this one up, Kelly?
Yeah, we saw what Coach Griffin was wanting to see and this coaching staff was wanting to see. We saw a complete game. There were some – after the starters were pulled, we saw some mistakes here and there, but this was a complete game, probably the most complete game the Eagles have played all season, and they did exactly what they wanted to do. They ran the football, controlled the clock, kept the Pflugerville offense off the field, kept our defense fresh. Great play calling from the coaches. Great job of getting ready for this game this week. We get a bye week next week. Looks like we're going to come out of this game pretty healthy. And then we go to our final game against Weiss before the playoff push.
And a reminder on that Weiss broadcast, it will be the Saturday game. It'll be the last home game of the regular season. It'll be Saturday, December 5th. I believe it is a noon kickoff. Because of rescheduling, we moved that game from Friday to Saturday to accommodate Weiss's crazy schedule that got moved around. Once again, the Eagles win it over the Pflugerville Panthers, 62-28, your final score. For Kelly Duvall and David England and Tara McConnell, I'm Carl Schoening. A big shout-out to Cole Smith, who could not be here tonight, but we always appreciate Cole helping us out. And we'll see you guys next time, and the Eagles game will be – there will be an Eagle Nation Coaches Show the Wednesday before, I believe December 2nd at 6 p.m. at George's on the Town, and then we'll see you guys for the live broadcast noon on Saturday, December 5th. I've been Carl Schoening. Good night, everybody.